find a difference between warnings to the driver to pay attention before the recall and after the recall fix was sent out in an online software update. The Dow's up 10 points, Nasdaq down 22, the S&P 500 up by 4. Again, the high today around 90. It is 90 in Dallas, 88 in Fort Worth. I'm Eric Bushman. Your next news update is at 2:30. Check back several times throughout your day and keep connected DFW to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. WBAP salutes Lucas. Lucas, thank you for listening today to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
This hour on WBAP is brought to you by the Will Hite Law Firm Injury Lawyers. Go to willhitewins.com.
Hey there, welcome. This is The James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Are you ready for this show? Because now it's getting out of hand. Not only do we have, like, the circus already, that this guy, all right, I'm glad to see you, too. Not only do we have the circus around, first time in history, we have a former president going to trial, and, of course, it's also, okay, thank you. It's also kind of interesting to watch because he's running for president now, and we've never seen a guy who's running for president be on trial like this. And, you know, maybe it's happened throughout American history, but you and I have never had to talk about this before. And then you throw in the fact that he's being charged with like 91 different crimes in 4 different jurisdictions, and they're all coming to head between now and the election day. And so there's already a circus atmosphere. And then you want to throw in porn star, adult film star, I guess would be a nicer way to say it. Kids aren't in the car yet. You don't have to pick them up for another hour, so don't get mad at me. So this is the update I have to bring to you today. You know, God bless the news for making it so easy to be a talk show host in 2024. And I don't mean that as a colloquial saying. This is literally me praying up to God. Thank you. Thank you for making the news such an absolute circus. Here to make some more sense of it, Raven Harrison's back on the show. You know her from ravenharrison.com. And Amazon has shipped my book, so I'll be getting it soon, Raven. But welcome back to the James Show.
Thanks, James.
Okay, so I was actually kind of busy today. I saw the headlines that Stormy Daniels took the stand. I saw a crawl at the bottom of the screen that said there was a motion for a mistrial from the Trump team, and it was denied. And this was over the testimony being too graphic. Is that right?
Correct. And the motion was also put up. It was appropriate for Trump's team to put that up because you had Stormy Daniels testifying to, quote, details that had nothing to do with the underlying crime. If this is a hush money trial and this is about whether money was used to hush her, details about whether they did or did not are irrelevant. It was for no other purpose other than to poison the jury, knowing that you can say strike it from the record any more than I could strike from the record my kids' brains if I tell them we're going to Disney World and they, oh, never mind, forget you heard that. It's basically the same premise.
Well, hang on. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just confused because isn't part of the Trump defense that he never had the affair at all? So her being able to explain in detail kind of does sort of solidify her side of the story. I mean, there's not a sympathetic case for that.
Well, correct. The problem is even though she can provide graphic detail, it doesn't mean that it's true. I mean, she is a porn star. She kind of her line of work is graphic, isn't it? But at the end of the day, what has that got to do with the campaign finance issue?
Well, it doesn't. It doesn't have anything to do with the campaign finance. But because I always thought it was weird that Trump denied it because what would there be anything to pay off? It doesn't make any difference to me whether or not he did it with her or not or had the affair or whatever. You know, his policies are still better for the country than the other guy, and if you want to vote for him based on how it affects the country, this should mean nothing to you. However, that's not the world we're living in. So, okay, because I thought it made the cases more valid, like when they were describing intimate details about Michael Jackson's undercarriage, that kind of does lend a little more credence to the idea that maybe something did happen there. And so I am a little sympathetic to the graphic details.
Well, that's what they were designed to do. The problem is we missed the part where one of the prosecution's witnesses said that I'm the one who decided to classify this as a legal expense. But, they've got a convicted liar, a porn star. I mean, this is a lineup that is just made in hell. But the point is right now they wanted to poison the jury. Judge Marchand afterwards made a comment of going, well, I agree. I'm going to paraphrase. I agree that, some of these things shouldn't have been said, but I don't think we're at the point of a mistrial. So whose job was it to make sure things like that were not said? It was his. So it was basically of going, yeah, somebody should have stopped her from going on these tangents about things that were irrelevant to the underlying facts of the case. But you know what? It's, we're really not in this for justice. We're in this for shock value. And P.S. Joe Biden's payments in the mail.
Whose side is Stormy Daniels on? She was kind of anti-Trump for a while, but then after Avenatti screwed her over, she sounded, I don't know, I don't want to say neutral, but she doesn't seem like the anti-Trump crusader that some of these other people are.
She is on the side. She's on her own side. She's on the side for money. That's what she was saying. She has, out of her own mouth, has said that this was good for business. Thanks to Trump, she has a podcast, a book. She was given the keys to the city of Hollywood for whatever that's worth. But she's made a good living and carved out a good living for herself of running around telling this story about Trump. Bar the fact that she has a sworn statement out there from 2017 saying nothing romantic ever happened with Trump. And that's where they should be hammering this. She literally said nothing happened. Now she's changing her story again. She's changed it at least 4 times. I've been covering this story all day. It's changed at least 4 times of why she's doing this. And again, there is really grounds for the appeal setting up. But what they want is to be able to hammer President Trump, saying he's a convicted, insert whatever. That's what Biden needs to deflect from the fact that he can barely stand up.
Well, there is incentive. The producer on the show, Sean, Dan Mangino's best friend over there, was saying that she had incentive to lie about the affair because she didn't want her husband to find out, which we were kind of giggling, like who would you really care if your porn star wife was having an affair? Like, how would that upset you? But is there any truth in that? No, I know.
But yeah, at the end of the day, if you didn't want him to find out, it seems like writing a book and telling this story and writing a documentary are a pretty poor way to hide it.
Oh, that marriage is over. She's now on husband number 4, which is good to see that she hasn't given up on love. I guess she's just a hopeless romantic, Raven.
Your words, not mine.
All right, where can the guys and gals who listen and find you? RavenHarrison.com. What you got going on over there?
We've still got the documentary Ravenous and the book Raven's Mantle, and we are keeping it in the front line.
Is Ravenous going to be on any other TV networks, or is it only on demand now?
It's going. It's on Salem currently. It was on OAN. It's going on Newsmax next week, I believe.
Oh man, be sure and let me know in advance. We'll promote it on the show. We'd love to give you a plug.
Thanks, James.
Thanks, Raven Harrison. RavenHarrison.com on the James Show yet again. Any thoughts on today's testimony? 800-288-9227, 800-288-WBAP. Do you even care if he had an affair and slept with an adult film star? 800-288-9227. This is The James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Here's what we're talking about.
It's a disgrace to the New York state and city court system. 24 campuses now affected by these pro-Palestinian protests.
Trump's lead growing to 9 percentage points.
Former President Trump is slapped with fines connected to his hush money trial in Manhattan.
Young people flying the flags of terrorist organizations.
Stay connected for updates all day.
News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
Brought to you by the Gateway Church, a Claret Conference.
Ready to transform your life and business? Then sign up for Accelerate, coming to Gateway Church on May 17th. Top speakers include John Maxwell, Dr. Phil, and Pastor Robert Morris, along with book signings and breakout sessions. Use code WBAP for 20% off. Register now at GPLaccelerate.com.
We hear you. Those long baling days can be taxing. The Case IH Maxim Series tractor is the perfect match for the Case IH RB5 Series round baler. Equipped with a CVX drive transmission, the Maxim tractor adjusts to maintain your desired speed under any load, while baler automation with the RB5 Series round baler leads to faster cycle times and more consistent bales. Together, this power team delivers peak efficiency and convenience in the field. Contact ASCO Equipment at ASCOEQ.com.
The fight for justice never ends. In Texas, there's only one name you need to know. Thomas J. Henry Law. We're one of the biggest personal injury firms in Texas with the money to fight for you. We invest in expert witnesses, investigators, and cutting-edge technology because the best evidence wins cases. And you only pay if we win. No upfront fees, no hidden costs. We give back to the communities we serve, from school supplies for tens of thousands of kids to food for families and pets. Thomas J. Henry. Visit us online at tjhlaw.com. San Antonio.
Hey, James Parker here. Of all the things you do to maintain your home, cleaning the gutters is last on the list of things you want to do. Well, it's time to upgrade to a permanent solution with Leaf Filter. Clogged gutters aren't just a nuisance. They can cause extensive problems like flooding and roof damage and rotting siding and foundation issues, all kinds of stuff. So Leaf Filter is your permanent solution to clogged gutters. Their award-winning patent technology keeps out everything but water. And Leaf Filter takes care of everything from start to finish. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will clean out, realign, seal your gutters before installing Leaf Filter. Schedule your free inspection. Get up to 30% off your entire purchase at leaffilter.com/WBAP. That's a free inspection up to 30% off at leaffilter.com/WBAP. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Hey, North Texas, you are booming. Those once quiet spots are now bustling with new folks and the sounds of progress. Well, if traffic noise or odd hours disrupt your peace and quiet, call Clarity Windows and Doors. Their sound-reducing multi-pane windows let in the light while blocking outside noise up to 50%. With over 20 local years earning their 5-star rating, Clarity offers premium products, service, and guidance for your home and budget. Renewed peace and quiet can be yours with excellent financing options. Plus, right now, save 40% off every other window. Give them a call or click them online at ClarityWindows.com. Timeless beauty and savings is yours, plus peace and quiet with Clarity Windows and Doors.
Bring clarity to your home. Clarity Windows and Doors.
Brought to you by Men's Edge Medical. Don't be fooled by gimmicks and promises of shockwave therapy treatment. Men's Edge Medical offers real solutions. If you suffer from ED and premature stamina, call Men's Edge Medical, 972-996-0900. You'll wish you called sooner.
We have a couple of new crashes to look out for. One's in Grapevine on southbound 121, just as you get to the merge with 114. 2 left lanes gone here. Your stop and go from Bass Pro Bethel. Looks like about a half hour of extra commute time. And the other new crash is in Dallas, 75 southbound at Bryan Live Oak. It's also blocking 2 left lanes, causing about a 20-minute jam from Knox Henderson. And you still have a wreck in South Dallas, southbound 35E at Wheatland. They've once again blocked off 2 right lanes. You're looking at about a 10-minute slowdown from Camp Wisdom. With WBAP First Traffic, I'm Colin Ellis.
This report is sponsored by Primatene Mist. During an asthma attack, every second feels like an eternity. Primatene Mist works fast. It's clinically shown to open airways quickly, providing quick relief of mild symptoms of intermittent asthma. Get the #1 FDA-approved over-the-counter asthma inhaler. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again.
News Talk 820 WBAP is now on FM
at 93.3.
Hey there. Welcome to the James Show. This is News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Thank you very much to everyone who sends a message to the show via social media or the rare email. I think like 4 people have figured out I do have an email address, james@wbap.com. I just don't give it out very much because I don't know. I don't give out my beeper number either. Email seems like caveman technology compared to what we have become accustomed to in our left hand when we're walking around. Another observation before I get back into the headlines here. When I was walking into the building today, like I went across the street to the 7-Eleven to get some very healthy snacks. And when I was coming back, I looked around while I was waiting for the light to turn red so I could cross the street. And all but 4 of the human beings I saw walking down the sidewalk were looking at their phone. So about 20 people out of 24, 25-ish, I don't know, a couple dozen, we're looking at we're all doing it now. We can't make fun of kids for doing it now. We can't make fun of millennials for doing it. We can't make fun of Gen Zs for doing it. We can't make fun of high school kids or stupid little sorority girls always on their phone. No, that's you too. That's you. I'm pointing you. Sean, you're on your phone all the time. Oh, he says no. Sean's the one person not on their phone I am. I'm comfortable in admitting it. Because you're clumsy? Yeah, you're on your phone. You're on your phone when you drive too. Accept the James challenge today. You're driving around probably because you're listening to the radio, I assume, or next time you are driving around. When you get to a red light, you're going to look at your phone. Stop yourself. Don't look at your phone. Look around at everybody else and see everyone else getting on their phone. Drivers, passenger seat. We're all doing it. Dude, 68-year-old people are constantly on their phone now. This isn't like old people. I never had a Facebook. We're running out of those people. I think the top headline, and no one listens to me, the top headline should be the news out of Whataburger. They now have a caramel latte shake. I actually saw this on the menu before I read the news article, and I didn't know it was going to be real. I didn't know if someone was playing a trick on me, or maybe I was hallucinating, or I was having some sort of like out-of-body experience. But a caramel latte shake from Whataburger. This is how good can life get for you and me in modern America in 2024? Do you realize how luxurious our life is? And I don't mean compared to like kings and queens in medieval times. Of course, it's far more luxurious than that. They never had the benefit of one air conditioner. I'm talking about compared to when we were kids. Can you imagine? Like look at the My Pillow guy. This guy's like a billionaire now from selling expensive pillows. Because why? We have to have luxury pillows now. Did your grandma ever have a luxury pillow? Your grandma would brag about how she got this goose down pillow 40 years ago and it's still kind of fluffy. Grandma used to brag about how nasty her pillows were. Or, hey, I got this new one from Walmart. No, we have luxury pillows now. It's so nice. And that's sort of the same way I feel about Whataburger. Like, look at all of these companies. You're told that, these are evil corporations that are just cutting and slashing and feeding you poison and abusing their employees. No, they're falling all over themselves to make your life just a little bit better every day. And, if you're not really caring about, your caloric intake from a cup, which sometimes treat yourself, go ahead. They're falling all over themselves to get it to you. You can go in the store. You don't even have to get out of your car. You don't even have to burn the calories opening the door, walking into the place. You can do the drive-thru. You don't even have to do the calories in the total drive-thru experience either. You could do the Whataburger app. Like, I don't even want to go in the store. I don't want to drive through. I could just get it ordered now. You can have someone go pick it up for you. And look, that is a luxurious life. Not only can you have a Whataburger caramel latte shake, you can have someone deliver it to you. You don't even have to get off your couch cushions. That is how glorious and awesome life is. And this is the world that these Palestinian protesters live in. Oh, you knew I was going to rope it back. It is so bizarre to see the complaints. Let me bring you the one that's going to knock you out of your chair. In fact, be careful if you're driving. You might zoom into the nearest bridge embankment when you hear this. This was getting passed around yesterday. There's some kid, I hate to say kid because they look like they could be 18 to 22. And it's a girl, but she's not wearing makeup and she's in boy clothes and kind of has a boy haircut. And her big complaint in life is that her parents are too damn supportive.
Am I the only one whose narcissistic parent would show up to every single event I was ever involved in? This is one of those weird ones where I always felt like speaking about this behavior negatively could be perceived in the wrong way. Like my parent was just being supportive, and how lucky was I to have a parent who always showed up? Boo-hoo, your parent was there for you. But did you also feel like sometimes it was a bit excessive, especially if it was a bit more of a repetitive thing where maybe I was doing the same thing on multiple days in a row? Like, you do not have to attend every one. And what makes this lean more towards the negative, in my opinion, in terms of behavior, is that if I ever didn't want them to show up to every single showing of something, that was considered to be disrespectful. It was very much that taking me out of school for lunch, sort of picking me up and dropping me off everywhere I went energy, where on the surface it seems very convenient, very thoughtful even, but it's a pattern of controlling behavior, I think, for narcissistic parents that prevented me from practicing independence and developing relationships outside of my immediate family.
All right, I'm a peace-loving, happy-go-lucky, damn near pacifist, nice guy. But listen to that. It turns me into a bully. Like, I want to take that person's lunch money. Just, can you have a real piece of adversity for 5 seconds in your life? The human condition is built for adversity. And if there is no adversity that is presented to a human being, they will perceive one anyway, is what is my theory on this. If you've never had to overcome anything, if you've never missed a meal, if you've never gone cold, if you've never missed any sleep, if you've never gone hungry, if you never had to worry about if you were going to be able to have a place to live or have a place to lay your head, if your parents were going to stay together, if y'all were going to go broke or you were going to get beat up at school or there was some sort of danger in the world. I mean, all of human history up until about, 60 years ago, there was famine, there was natural disasters, the rain would upset your whole entire world. Look, before you went around in a car, which is like a tiny little house on wheels, if you were walking or on horseback, what did rain mean? Rain meant you had to get wet, you had to freeze your butt off, you had to have some kind of covering or cloak or something, and the elements meant something. You have no adversity. You don't have to deal with the rain anymore. So what does this person got to overcome? Supportive parents? It's because at the same time, we have removed all obstacles and we have made such a velvet pillow life experience for some kids because they've never had to face any this adversity. This is pretty laughable stuff, right? We are coupling that with making victimhood a moral imperative. So how can you be a victim if not only have you never lost a battle in your life, you've never had a battle in your life. You didn't have to overcome, what happened when, your dad got murdered by the invading tribe who was coming to raid your grain stores. What happened if you never had to overcome hunger or missing a few meals, or we had a bad crop this year, so we just had to eat beans for 3 months straight. When you've never had to overcome even getting in a fist fight. You never even had to overcome mean words. You got a trophy even if you got 8th place. This is what happens. Now, I'm not saying all young kids are like this or all millennials or Gen Z or anything like this, but some are. And I think it's a big chunk of that population explains what is going on with all these people supporting Palestinian protests or the 6 months of BLM riots or Antifa throwing bricks through windows. They're all tied together. 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. What do you think about that? Can parents be too supportive? It's the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Whether it's her first Mother's Day or her 40th, she deserves more. Shop tons of stunning on-trend jewelry for every budget at Diamonds Direct. Diamond fashion jewelry, beautiful birthstones, everyday pearls starting at just $200. Commemorate the real loves of her life with a gorgeous pendant featuring the birthstone of the one who made her mom. This Mother's Day, Diamonds Direct has everything you need to say thank you. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Online at diamondsdirect.com.
Freeman Toyota has new 2024 Tundras with 0% financing for 60 months. Man, I've been waiting a long time to say that. Hello, this is Dane Miner, General Manager of Freeman Toyota. And if you want a lower truck payment, you can get a new 2024 four-wheel drive Crewmax Tundra for just $449 a month. $449 a month for a brand new Crewmax Tundra. Come see us today at Freeman Toyota or shop online at freemantoyota.com.
Call 866-227-6570 for details.
Smacking, a 5.
Okay, Paul, on a scale of 1 to 10, how uncomfortable is this next one? The word moist.
4.
Okay, we're improving. Now, one more. This can be tough for some. Take a deep breath. Uneven room temperatures.
Okay, no, you know how I feel about
Paul,
that.
Paul, remember what we've talked about. What's our coping strategy?
Milestone.
Yes, milestone what?
Milestone can fix all uneven room temperatures with the room temperature service for only $189.
If you have one room in your house that is way too hot or way too cold, you don't have to live like that. With our advanced diagnostic tools, we will fix the airflow imbalances in your home in less than 2 hours for only $189. And if your issue's not resolved, we'll refund you your money. Call Milestone today and ask for the Milestone Room Temperature Service.
We'll fix it in a flash.
Here at Massey, we've seen the damage termites can cause. That's why we've protected homes from termite damage for almost 100 years. Our termite protection program doesn't just protect your home from termites, it gives you peace of mind. That's why our termite protection guarantee covers your home and all the things in it. When we protect against termites, we protect families. Schedule your free inspection today at MasseyServices.com. Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
Guys, do you have lack of energy, motivation, possibly low libido? These symptoms could be caused by low T levels. At Centergenics, their medical providers specialize in customized testosterone treatment and make it quick and easy to get your levels checked. And at Centergenics, you'll get your results back at your first visit. To learn more and to book your appointment online, go to FixMyLowT.com. That's FixMyLowT.com. Locations in Prosper, McKinney, and Walnut Hill near North Park Mall.
If you have cancer, you have a powerful choice. An advanced cancer treatment available right here in North Texas at Texas Center for Proton Therapy. Proton therapy precisely targets your cancer, sparing healthy tissue for fewer side effects. No doctor's referral needed, so visit TexasProtons.com to find out if you're a candidate. Powerful cancer treatment, a powerful choice. The power of proton therapy at Texas Center for Proton Therapy.
You only have a few chances in May to see your Texas Rangers at Globe Life Field. Your next chance to see the world champs is when the Cleveland Guardians come to town for 3 games, May 13th through the 15th. The series include the first ever World Series replica ring giveaway.
No doubt about that one.
And Texas Chili Company Dollar Hot Dogs. Come experience some excitement and energy at the ballpark this month. Tickets at Rangers.com.
According to NHTSA, a new car crash is reported every 56 seconds in Texas. Thomas J. Henry handles serious auto accident cases and gets serious results for injured clients. To learn more or start your claim today, visit tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
DFW's News, Talk, Traffic, and Weather Station. News Talk 820 WBAP. And now on FM at 93.3.
Streaming live on our free mobile app.
A Cumulus Media Station. Trending now.
ERCOT issues a weather watch. I'm Eric Bushman from the Novak Motors News Desk.
ClassicChevrolet.com. WBAP's first traffic and weather.
On the ones.
We have about a 30 to 45 minute delay through Grapevine on southbound 121 because of a crash at 114, taking up 2 left lanes. Your stop and go back from Grapevine Mills Parkway. A crash was cleared in Dallas, 75 southbound at Bryan Live Oak. Still have about a 20-minute jam unwinding from Mockingbird. South Dallas, southbound 35 East. Still have a crash in 2 right lanes at Wheatland Road. It's about a 10-minute slowdown from Camp Wisdom. We have a new crash in South Dallas, 20 eastbound after Houston School Road. Right lane blocked here, about a 10-minute jam from Polk Street. And there's a disabled vehicle in Garland, eastbound 635 at Centerville Ferguson. Left lane blocked here, that's another 10-minute jam from Garland Road. With WBAP, first traffic and weather on the ones, I'm Colin Ellis.
Why do so many Texans love Classic Chevrolet in Grapevine? We're the #1 Chevy dealership in the world. New Silverados, more than anyone. Malibus, Blazers, Equinox. Gotta visit ClassicChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. Based on new Chevrolet registrations 2023.
The WBAP forecast sunny this afternoon, a high around 90. It is 90 in Dallas, 88 in Fort Worth. This news brought to you by American Medical Plans. ERCOT has issued a weather watch for tomorrow. It's because of unseasonably high temperatures, high levels of expected maintenance outages during the spring months, and the potential for lower reserves. As of now, the Texas Power Grid operator expects grid conditions to be normal during the watch. In an attempt to be more transparent following the February 2021 winter storm that forced the Power Grid operator to cut power for days to millions of Texans, ERCOT announces when conditions could be tight. ERCOT says they will monitor conditions and will deploy all available tools to manage the grid. Your Money News news, TikTok is taking legal action to prevent the app from being banned in the U.S.
The social media company and its Chinese parent ByteDance are challenging the constitutionality of a new law that requires a sale or ban of the popular app. They claim it violates users' First Amendment rights and free speech of Americans. The federal lawsuit filed with an appeals court in Washington, D.C. is seeking a court order to prevent the U.S. from enforcing the laws signed by President Biden last month. ByteDance says it can't and won't sell its U.S. operations by the government's deadline of January 19th, 2025. TikTok says that it is not a security threat and that its parent company is not controlled by the Chinese Communist Party. Hillary Barsky, Fox News.
The Dow's up 39 points, NASDAQ down 24, the S&P 500 up by 4. Again, the high today around 90. It is 90 in Dallas, 88 in Fort Worth. This news also brought to you by McGowan Publishing. I'm Eric Bushman. Your next news update is at 3 o'clock. Check back several times throughout your day and keep connected, DFW, to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
The answer is hoops, hockey, and the boys of summer. The question, who will you be following in the wide world of sports today? Stars, the Mavericks, the Rangers? From our Mullen & Mullen Law Firm Sports Desk, I'm Steve Lamb. Rangers and the A's on the field right now out in Oakland. It's the second of 4 games they're playing in this series, where Texas came back to win last night, where less than 3,000 fans were in the stands to see it. That won't be the case at the American Airlines Center in a few more hours, where they'll have a packed house for the Stars' second-round NHL playoff series after surviving round 1 in 7 games against Vegas, the defending Stanley Cup champions. Now they're facing a Colorado team that won the Cup 2 years ago. Puck drops at 8:30, televised on ESPN, on radio, on our sports station, The Ticket. And at the same time, up in Oklahoma City, the Thunder, top team in the Western Conference, hosting the Mavericks. This is going to be an interesting series to watch. Mavs trying to get back to the West Finals, but I'm not sure I feel as confident as I did in their series against the LA Clippers. That's your Tuesday afternoon sports update. I'm Steve Lamb.
News Talk 820 WBAP is now on FM
at 93.3.
Welcome. It's the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP now on FM at 93.3. Michael Moore says, hey, keep the protests going on college campuses. In fact, if you don't have a camp out on your college campus, you need to go ahead and start one right now. I'm sorry, dude. It's almost summertime. We got to wrap this up. We got to go home. We got to get to the lake. We got skirts to chase. We got some money to make. We got some back dives to perform off the diving board. Yeah, man, it's almost summer. Don't expect this to keep going. Remember, the attention span that we all have now, degraded by social media and our cell phones and all kinds of beepy noises and flashy lights in front of our faces, it translates into things like protest as well. That's one of the amazing parts about the George Floyd Summer of Love is they managed to stretch that out for 6 months. You know, the original George Floyd incident happened, if I remember correctly, it was Memorial Day weekend, and they didn't stop the riots until Election Day, basically. I mean, that's a coincidence, though. It had nothing to do with politics. It's just a coincidence. But that, in my observation, I believe has been the record for the longest they can keep this sort of hissy fit train rolling. And you've seen other hissy fits before. I think the second longest hissy fit in political hissy fit, at least in memory, would be the Occupy protest. Similar thing. They kept that going for a little while, but it went away, never to return again. So as the attention is sort of waning on the Palestinian protests, they are still happening. But let's not stop having the discussion, because there's a couple of fun things that I think we can take away from this that have sort of it's not a point of contention, or it's not even a big discussion in mainstream sources. But people are being converted by this. People are now questioning their allegiance and their team red or team blue status. Because some people are finding out for the first time, like, hang on a second. If I go to this protest, you mean to tell me I'm on the same side as Muslim terrorists? Okay. I'm on the same side as literal Nazis. They were kind of anti-Israel, and like even Hitler himself had to deal with the Muslim powers that be and against Israel in the I mean, it's not like the same parallel, but also you want hard government control over industry. That's you're also lined up with the people who have purple hair and they're not comfortable with what's in their undercarriage. I mean, we are in some weird, strange bedfellows like that. I don't think everyone knew their Venn diagram overlapped with some of these other demographics. But check this one out. You know who else you're on the same team as? Pro-Palestinian folks over Israel? North Korea.
So which side?
Wait, hang on. I gotta set this up. This is from the NYU, New York University protest. There's a lady on a stool. She looks young, kind of pretty, except for the headscarf. Can't tell. And she's bragging that she's on the same side as North Korea. Isn't this great?
So which side do y'all think North Korea supports, Palestine or Israel? Just guess. It is Palestine. The DPRK has actually never recognized the state of Israel. They have always upheld the right of Palestinian people to self-determination and resistance. And this is beyond moral and rhetorical support. The DPRK has actively armed and trained Palestinian resistance for decades. That includes the PLO, the PFLP, and the DFLP have trained troops by the DPRK. So while the U.S. is here training the IOF with police, the North Korea is training Palestinian.
That's not a feature. That's a flaw, lady. You're not supposed to be on the same side as the worst government system on planet Earth right now. And when you look at all the different options you have for governance, the one you want to copy last would be North Korea, because it is the only instance that we have left. There were some before this, but it is both a theocracy and communist, which those are the two worst. I mean, imagine like a Bolshevik Russia meshed with the Iranian Ayatollahs, and that's what you get. Still over here bragging. You know who else is on our side? North Korea. They even go out and they train troops. That's not a good thing. You don't want to be on the same team as North Korea. You're doing something wrong. When the most oppressive prison state with the least amount of human rights planet Earth has to offer is on your team, you should reevaluate your position, not cheer. And so let me show you where this rubber meets the road, because you know plenty of leftists. You know, I mean, you probably work with some. I work with some. I'm related to some. I live next door to some. Some of mine are friends. I mean, I'm surrounded by them, right? None of them, not one of them would be like, oh, good, I'm on the same side of North Korea. I must be doing something right. So I don't know where these super far lefty guys go that they're so far anti-American or off the reservation that they're praising an allegiance, or an alliance, I should say, with North Korea. And not only that, but the terrorists. Great. Two of the great demographics you could have chosen. Here's where it shows up in an actual discussion in sort of dim on dim divide here. Don Lemon had Taylor Lorenz on his show. It's just an online show. And he was making the case like, isn't there some sort of weird feeling you have about LGBT for Palestine, to where if an LGBT went to Palestine, they'd get thrown off of buildings? Now, Don Lemon, God bless him, is the reasonable one in this situation. Being an LGBT himself, probably tips his hand a little bit. Taylor Lorenz from MSNBC is trying to make an impossible case.
Well, then, Taylor, how do you reconcile the way marginalized groups, many of the people in these marginalized groups, obviously they are fighting for Palestine, right, for the Palestinians and for what's happening in Gaza. But yet in Gaza, they would not have any freedom. You know,
they don't have freedoms in Texas and Florida. Does that mean?
But they don't. But I understand that. But Taylor, I'm a member of the LGBTQ community. If I go to Texas, they're not going to throw me off of a roof. They're not going.
So we shouldn't advocate for the oppressed people.
No, I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying that. Okay. I'm just asking you. There is a disconnect because women and minorities are treated. Okay, go on.
We should advocate for the rights of people all over the world to live happy and healthy lives, whether or not they have an oppressive government or not. You know, I can't even remember if gay marriage is legal in Israel. Is it?
All right, come on, Taylor. All right, so I'm broadcasting my signal from WBAP on both 820 AM and 93.3 FM is blanketing about 7 million people. Tens of thousands, or at least dozens, are listening right now, some of which are gay. How many gay people have you seen be thrown off a building the entire time you've lived in Texas? 800-288-9227. 800-288-WBAP. For me, it's 0, but I don't want to speak for everybody. Maybe it's happening in some place I haven't been, or maybe it happened like right before I pulled up and I didn't get to see it, or maybe it happened right after I left and they threw some people off a building. You know, I don't know. Maybe they do it at the American Airlines Center across the street and they just don't tell me. I'd love to hear from you. How many gays have you thrown off buildings? 800-288-9227. Taylor Lorenz says Texas is just as bad as the places that do. What an insult. How silly can this get? This is The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Wednesday at 6:47, we talk with Victoria Coach from the Heritage Foundation for the latest on the war in the Middle East.
And at 7:17, what will Donald Trump do if elected? We hear from a National Review writer.
I'm Ernie Brown.
And I'm Carla Marion. Monty Cook has your traffic on the ones. Chief Meteorologist Brad Barton has your forecast. Steve Lamb has sports. And Nicole Osei has your news updates at the top and bottom of each hour, along with your money news. And Hal J keeps us laughing.
It's all on Wednesday's WBAP Morning News, 5 till 9 on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage. Mother's Day is coming up, and Macy's Backstage has amazing deals on great gifts that Mom is going to love, all for $15 and under. Get low prices every day at Macy's Backstage. Find a store near you today at macy'sbackstage.com. Off price, on trend, arriving daily.
Shane again with Mullen & Mullen Injury Law Firm. We're your best option. We come to you, find the care you need, keep you informed, and we have the lowest pre-suit fees in the industry. Call me for a free consultation. 214-INJURED. MullenandMullen.com. No recovery, no expense or fees. Been that way since '83.
For over 120 years, Dallas Plumbing and Air Conditioning has been serving the Dallas-Fort Worth area's air conditioning, heating, and plumbing needs. With their decades of experience, you can rest assured their certified experts will keep your home running at its best. Visit Dallas Plumbing at DallasPlumbing.com and ask about their $79 AC tune-up special. Get ready for those hot days now. Give them a call at 469-599-7200 or visit DallasPlumbing.com. License TACLB 50010E.
It's Casey. Come see me as we broadcast live from 9 to 11 a.m. from the McKinney Chamber Golf Classic at the Stonebridge Country Club Die Course this coming Monday with my friends from Blue Ribbon Roofing. Schedule your free inspection right now by going to BlueRibbonDFW.com. That's BlueRibbonDFW.com.
Up to a 30% upfront bonus and 12% per year guaranteed growth for retirement. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and these are the highest guarantees with annuities I have seen in my life. When interest rates are this high, there are silver linings, and annuity guarantees are one of them. Up to a 30% bonus upfront for retirement income. On $100,000, that's up to $42,000 guaranteed in the first year. And it's because of the economy and its high interest rates. Don't let anyone, especially another financial advisor, tell you it's not true. Up to 30% upfront just for opening an account, and up to 12% per year guaranteed income growth. Don't miss out. This won't last forever. If you have an old 401k, get up to 30% upfront and 12% guaranteed growth for income today.
Call 469-579-3500. 469-579-3500.
Guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
It is absolutely the best product we've ever used. No question.
I would take it daily. You just woke up in the morning and felt great.
Well, I'm in my 90s. I was so impressed with it that I bought all my children that. I have 4 children, and they all got a shipment of it. It's a great product. Yes, I love it.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer. And for a limited time, get 35% off your first order, plus $10 off any additional sets with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code DALLAS.
Named one of the best personal finance podcasts, The Stacking Benjamin Show with Joe and his friends makes financial literacy fun.
Let's hear another success story. This one comes to us from Stacker Derek.
You guys are the best, and it's because of you I now understand retirement accounts, money in general, and how poorly the guests are treated when they show up. I really don't know where I would be without you. Thank you for $1,500, and here's to another $1,500 if Doug can survive that long without pay.
Find out more by searching the Stacking Benjamins podcast, wherever you listen.
Brought to you by Sewell Buick GMC.
Experience Sewell's obsession with customer service at Sewell Buick GMC of Dallas. Test drive a new or certified pre-owned vehicle at Sewell Buick GMC or visit SewellBuickGMC.com.
Still dealing with about a 30 to 45 minute delay through Grapevine on southbound 121 because of a crash right at the merge with 114. They now have you down to just the right lane there. You're bumper to bumper from Grapevine Mills Parkway. A disabled vehicle in Garland still has the left lane blocked eastbound 635 at Centerville Ferguson. That's about a 15-minute jam from Royal Miller. And they cleared a crash in South Dallas 20 eastbound after Houston School Road. Still about 5 minutes of unwinding delay there. With WBAP First Traffic, I'm Colin Ellis.
Brought to you by the Good Feet Store.
Hi, this is Brandy from the Good Feet Store. Are you standing on painful feet all day? Don't lose hope. We want to help you live without pain. Discover your options and visit goodfeet.com.
From the Airco AC Heating and Plumbing Studio, this is News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3.
Hey there, welcome to the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Well, the rules are constantly changing on what counts as etiquette in the workplace and at home and in social situations. But let's focus on the workplace because a lot of us are, I'll use the word scared, absolutely scared to say something that's out of bounds or color outside of the lines. And we don't even know where the new rules are because the rules keep changing. So in order to help us keep up with that and calm things down a little bit, Jan Goss from the Show Up Well Consulting Company is on the James Show to talk about the new rules of etiquette at the office. Jan, what are some of the big rule changes that have come up compared to years past?
Well, first of all, you had me scared because you said I was going to calm things down, and I think I might stir things up, James.
Yeah, well, it is pretty bad, but let's find out where the rules are, and then we'll find out how scared we need to be accordingly.
Exactly. Well, there are some things that have definitely shifted with the workforce coming back into the office. People are used to being at home. They're used to being loud. That's one of the main complaints, is that people are so loud and they have conversations and they're unaware of how their behavior is affecting other people. So that's one of the main complaints. The other one is tidiness. They're so messy, James. They're used to being messy at home. So when they come into the office, they're leaving their dirty dishes on their desk and in the kitchen, and they're just not being very tidy. They're bringing their bad habits from home into the office.
So how are we supposed to handle that? Are we still like allowed to man confront our coworker and try and help them? Or do you go above their head? Do you go talk to the boss, your immediate supervisor? Do you go straight to HR? How do you deal with it?
You know, that's a very good question. And it's one of those brilliant answers of it depends. If you're connected with the person, connection is the key. If you're connected with them, have a conversation one-on-one with them. Tell them how you feel or how it makes you feel when they behave a certain way, how it's affecting your work life. If that doesn't work, then yes, you can go above their head, go to HR. But I would highly recommend when you go to HR, don't go tattletaling. Don't go snitching on someone, but go looking for a solution because you're trying to get your work done and this is interfering with your workload.
Jan Goss, in what situation would nudity be inappropriate at the workplace?
Well, who said it's inappropriate?
Well, I'm seeing Stormy Daniels take the stand. So there are some cases where nudity is a necessary function of some workplaces. It just hasn't come up around here in the WBAP studios. But, maybe you could help someone out there.
You were hoping it would, or, I don't know. That would be
Well, not for Sean. No. But yeah.
Exactly. It is important, whatever your dress code is, to have it written down. It can't just be something that you verbally convey. It needs to be written down. If it's not written down, it's not real. And you need to have something to go back to refer to say, here are the boundaries, here are the rules when you're in this work environment.
What's the proper way to approach it? Just hypothetically speaking, if you have a board op that is in the room next to you and he smells like the dark brown bananas that have been sitting in your fruit bowl too long, how do you properly tell him he's got to smell better in the workplace? That's just hypothetical. It has nothing to do with Sean.
Exactly. No, Sean would never do anything like that. Exactly. But he did call me about you. So I don't know. How would you handle it?
Oh man, she threw it back at me. I guess you're done with the show. This has been Jan Goss. No, I'm just kidding. So Show Up Well Consulting. What do you guys do over there, Jan? How do you know so much about this?
Well, I'm a graduate from the Protocol School of Washington in D.C. So I went to school with ambassadors, diplomats, presidential staff. It's the highest level of training available in our country. And I have been in personal and professional development for about 3 decades now. I started when I was in kindergarten.
So they teach you things like you're not supposed to shake hands with the queen or whatever?
Well, you do learn that kind of etiquette as well, but it's best practices in business. That's really what it's about. And it's about putting protocols in place so that everyone knows the rules so you can function within that environment. It's knowing what's appropriate in what environment.
Yeah,
I wouldn't wear a bathing suit to a formal dinner.
Right.
But it's perfectly appropriate on the beach. And when you know the rules, you can be confident and show up well.
Well, it has been my experience that every large company I have, they have all the rules set up and they're ready to go. It's these small businesses that you work for that's just like some guy and 4 of his friends, and then you happen to get in the workplace. That's where you get the really dicey stuff. And they could use a little more structure around their rules. They could use the Jan Goss in their world. So thank you, Jan, for being on the James Show.
It's my pleasure. Come see me at showupwell.com.
Jan Goss, Show Up Well Consulting, showupwell.com. All right, stay put on the James Show. I got to tell you, the world's largest Chevy and GMC truck event is coming to Texas Motor Speedway May 10th and 11th. That's this weekend. It's the C10 Nationals. A couple of you guys already reached out to me and you want some of these tickets. Did you text the word truck? You get a free 4-pack of tickets. Text the word truck to 800-288-9227. It's the same number I give out for the callers, but you text the word truck to it. 800-288-9227. For more info, you can go to c10nationals.com. All right, stay put. Coming up next, we're going to talk a little bit more about the details of Stormy Daniels on the stand today in the Trump trial. It's the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
This is Rob Wilhite of the Wilhite Law Firm. When a fellow Texan is hurt in an accident, I take it to heart. Our firm wins Texas-sized settlements for our clients. Get your free case review at wilhitewins.com. That's wilhitewins.com.
Prior results do not guarantee similar outcome.
Think identity theft won't happen to you? Think again. There's a new victim every 3 seconds in the U.S., over 15 million this year alone, and many don't even know they're victims. LifeLock alerts you to identity threats you could miss even when you monitor your credit. If your identity's stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% their first year with my name, Clay, as the promo code at LifeLock.com.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go, shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit NoTimeToWait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Hey, Mike Singletary.
Do you know Baker Brothers is celebrating its 80th anniversary?
No, but I do now. Congrats, Jimmy.
Thanks. What were you doing back in 1945?
Hello, I wasn't born yet. I was still a glimmer in my dad's eye. Come on, Jimmy.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, in 1945 at Baker Brothers Plumbing, Air, and Electric, we were fixing all kinds of things, like
plumbing, drains, and water heaters. Yeah.
Yeah! Wow, you're good, Mike Singletary.
That's what they say, Jimmy.
This is Jimmy Dell, president of Baker Brothers Plumbing, Air, and Electric. If you need your AC repaired or replaced, go to callbakernow.com and schedule now. We have over 18,000 five-star reviews and offer 100% satisfaction guarantee.
For great service, leave it to the pros at Baker Brothers. Call them today.
Thanks, Mike Singletary. Baker Brothers. Great service.
Guys, did you know your testosterone levels start to decline in your 30s? If you're feeling a lack of energy and drive, it could be caused by low T. Get your levels tested at Synergenics. They make it quick and easy, and with the convenience of their on-site lab, you'll get your results back at your first visit. At Synergenics, you get customized care from testosterone specialists. Go to fixmylowt.com to book online. That's fixmylowt.com. Locations in Prosper, McKinney, and Walnut Hill near North Park Mall.
Hi, this is Brandy from the Good Feet store. Are you standing on painful feet all day? Don't lose hope. We want to help you live without pain. Discover your options and visit goodfeet.com.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. While leaning over the fence, your neighbor said you could save money bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. Your neighbor leaned over a little too much and broke your fence. Dumb news. Somehow fence wood is more expensive than wood. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and to plant really tall shrubs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader, like that car riding your tail. Or if you're tailgating right now, all those cars doubling as kitchens and living rooms are on AutoTrader too. Are you working out and listening to this ad at the same time? Well, multitasking pro, cars like the ones in the gym parking lot are for sale on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
Joint pain. Do those two little words have you feeling like you're condemned to a life sentence of suffering? Are they stealing your sleep and robbing you of life's little moments? What if there was a way to break free from your joint pain with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime? A way that could repair and restore damaged tissue, regain your mobility, and finally get lasting relief. Introducing QC Kinetics, the regenerative therapy used by professional athletes and available to the public right now. To find out if you're a candidate, call now for a free consultation. 469-629-2450.
I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
I couldn't believe it. I honestly was skeptical, but the pain went from a 10 to a 0.
I would recommend QC to anybody.
Join the growing crowd of satisfied customers who have set themselves free from joint pain. What are you waiting for? For a free consultation, call now. 469-629-2450. 469-629-2450.
DFW's News, Talk, Traffic, and Weather Station. News Talk 820 WBAP AM, Fort Worth, Dallas. 93.3 WBAP FM, Haltom City, Dallas. And 99.5 KPLX FM HD2, Fort Worth, Dallas.
Streaming live on our free mobile app.
A Cumulus Media Station.
Trending now.
Trump defense lawyer is calling for a mistrial. I'm Eric Bushman from the Novak Motors News Desk.
ClassicChevrolet.com. WBAP's first traffic and weather.
On the ones.
We have 2 left lanes blocked by a crash in Grapevine on southbound 121 at 114. Traffic stacking up back at Grapevine Mills Boulevard. Give yourself about 30 to 45 extra minutes to get through. Still have a disabled vehicle in Garland blocking 1 left lane eastbound 635 at Centerville Ferguson. That's about 15 to 20 minutes of extra commute time back from Royal Miller. And they cleared the construction that was in Kaufman County on eastbound Highway 80 just a little bit before Clements Drive. Still have about a 15-minute delay unwinding from East Fork Road. With WBAP, first traffic and weather on the ones. I'm Colin Ellis.
Why do so many Texans love Classic Chevrolet in Grapevine?
We're the #1 Chevy dealership in the world. New Silverados, more than anyone. Malibus, Blazers, Equinox. Gotta visit ClassicChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. Based on new Chevrolet registrations 2023.
Hot and humid weather for the next 24 hours could lead to some big storms Wednesday afternoon, and then we're cooler somewhat at the end of the week. Sunshine the rest of the day, a high near 90. Increasing clouds tonight, low 73. And a few scattered strong late-day storms Wednesday, a high of 90. Heat indices in the upper 90s. This weather report sponsored by Navage. Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you. For WBAP News, I'm meteorologist Mark Thibodeau at the Weather Channel.
91 degrees in Dallas, 90 in Fort Worth. This news brought to you by Structured Foundation Repairs. Defense attorneys for former President Donald Trump called for an immediate end to the proceeding following graphic testimony from a porn star.
Based on testimony of adult film actress Stormy Daniels, the former president's defense attorney Todd Blanche called for a mistrial, saying Daniels' testimony was more about a consensual relationship than the crime his client is accused of committing. Blanche called the narrative prejudicial. Prosecutor Susan Hoffinger said the defense was briefed on what Daniels would say, and it was meant to show the defendant's intent with this witness. Judge Juan Merchan said while some details were not necessary, it was hard to control the testimony given. He ultimately denied the motion, saying it's not warranted right now. In New York City, Gernal Scott, Fox News.
The Boy Scouts of America changing its name for the first time in 114 years. The Irving-based organization is announcing its annual meeting this week. It will become Scouting America. It's a significant shift for the organization as it emerges from bankruptcy after a flood of sexual abuse claims and focuses on including everyone. The organization has made major changes, from allowing gay youth to welcoming girls throughout its ranks. CEO Roger Crone says the organization wants any youth in America to feel very, very welcome. Your Money News Education Secretary Miguel Cardona testified before the House Education and Workforce Committee about the recent issues with the FAFSA federal college financial aid form. He assured lawmakers the issue would be solved by next year's college application cycle.
We take this very seriously, and it's concerning to us that there were delays. And yes, there will be opportunities for not only accountability, but restructuring to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
This year's issues have been caused in part by the Department of Education's decision to launch an updated version of the form. The Dow's up 32 points, NASDAQ down 17, the S&P 500 up by 7. Again, the high today in the low 90s. It is 91 in Dallas, 90 in Fort Worth. This news also brought to you by Waters International Realty. I'm Eric Bushman. Your next news update is at 3:30. Check back several times throughout your day and keep connected, DFW, to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. WBAP salutes Milford. Milford, thank you for listening today to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
This hour on WBAP is brought to you by the Will Height Law Firm Injury Lawyers. Go to willheightwins.com.
Hey there, all you beautiful Texans. Welcome to the James Show. It's News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Saw the caption at the on the bottom of the TV screen, threw me off. It said, Stormy Daniels, cross-examined. And I thought, oh, she come out with a new movie? That sounds like a good... I haven't seen that one. No, it's not. Oh, she was on the stand. I see. My next guest is Dan Snell. He's actually been through the political ringer, come out, wrote a book, and now is the commentator. Welcome to the James Show. Have you been keeping up with this Stormy Daniels trial? Because they keep talking about all the details that are so dirty. That's terrible. I can't believe that. Where?
Yeah, it's great to be with you. Love being on any type of Texas show. I have a daughter that lives there in Dallas, so just great to be with you. And yes, I have been following with interest you tune in every 10 minutes and see what's the latest update. And as Thomas Paine said, these are times that try men's souls.
So what did we learn today? What was Stormy talking about that got so much attention?
Well, of course, we're not there, and you hear what's interesting is I listen to a broad spectrum of commentary and news sources from conservative to liberal and all in between, about 10 different sources, and you get different views on each side. I think she went a little too far in the description of what happened, and the judge, rightfully so, said, hey, enough on that. And but I think they were just the prosecutor was just trying to lay out, okay, here's the timeline, here's what happened, so they can show that this did take place. It'll be interesting in the cross-examination, I think, which is either starting to take place or will take place, I guess, we'll miss tomorrow, but will take place on Thursday.
I am starting to just be more solidified in my theory that this isn't changing anybody's vote. What do you think, Dan Snell?
Well, I think that as the recent poll came out, 80% of Trump supporters said absolutely won't change. There are 20% that are wondering. I think that this trial and these trials don't really help President Trump in his efforts. Now, it solidifies some, but it's too bad that I look at it, in my book, The Winsome Candidate, I write about public service, what's good for America. It's too bad that President Trump, who has some good policies and some good ideas and how to address the things that are important, that he can't focus on that. But our focus is on this, and it's really a mess. We're broken in leadership here and the way we go about it. We point at the other side and say, bad, bad, bad. That's why you should vote for me, rather than here's my 5-point plan to make America better. I think that it's a game of inches. You're a Cowboys fan. Football is a game of inches and little things that are observed by voters. I think I read somewhere you have 4 wonderful children, and, your children watch you, my children watched me. And what happens is, something can sometimes impact them. And so that's what I'm concerned, is that something will impact voters and they'll walk away from voting at all or away from Trump.
Do you think this is going to be part of the normal election cycle now that we've opened the Pandora's box of taking our political opponents to trial and using, I like the term lawfare. I usually don't like it when they make up words or do a portmanteau that's forced upon us, but I like that. Do you think lawfare is here to stay?
Of course, I'm an idealist, but I absolutely believe that it will change. I think this will be a defining moment in the elections, that Americans will say we can't have this anymore, and that we will start to put forth candidates who want to go to Washington or to their state house or to their city hall and really make a difference. And we should have term limits and get out of this, because we're in a mess. We're no longer in public service. It's in pure politics. So to answer your question, I think we're going to change. I think this is a defining moment.
So what do you think about the comment, this is the most important election in our lifetime? I laugh at that and dismiss it, but I think more people are saying it this year than years past. Do you think this is one of the most important elections of our lifetime?
Well, it's been said that in a number of elections, but I honestly do think it's a very, very important, because what we do as leaders in Washington, D.C., what they do is going to affect the next 10 to 15 to 20 years. And we are at a point where we're in, I'm a conservative, I'm a Republican, I'm a father, and there are things that are happening in Washington that I wish would definitely change for the impact of my children, your listeners' children. I think it's a very important election. It's too bad that we can't have a fresh start and find 2 candidates in both sides that we can really listen to what they're going to bring to the table as far as fixing what's broken in America. But this is an important election. Is it the most important in our lifetime? I don't think so, but it's important.
All right, Dan Snell, put your head on a swivel. I'm about to give you a question out of left field. You know Zig Ziglar?
Zig Ziglar, how you doing, my friend in Dallas? He's in heaven now. Yeah.
That guy's a legend.
Yeah, Zig, got to meet him a few times, and actually his son Tom wrote the foreword for my book, The Winsome Way. Wonderful family. It's been a blessing to know them. Can't say enough good things about how they impacted my lives. And that, great point, great segue. I was a fan of Ronald Reagan and John F. Kennedy. When I was a little boy, yes, I'm that old, I wanted to be like JFK. And then as I became an adult, I wanted to be like Ronald Reagan. I ran for office, got elected 5 times. We don't have people running for office or in office today where people are saying, I want to be like that person, that man, that woman. And that's what we need to get back to, is people that are role models, truly role models. There's nothing wrong with having role models, and we need that in America. So Zig was that to me, and I hope we have that in elections in the coming years.
Well, it sounds like you're not making the case for Hunter Biden. Thank you very much again, Dan Snell, my guest on The James Show.
Great to be with you. Yeah, thank you.
All right. If you have any comments on that, 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Coming up, I'm going to introduce you to Woke Jesus. It's a bit from the Babylon Bee, but is it really a bit? It really feels like more than a bit. It feels like a beautiful parable. Well, probably the wrong word. It's the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
So what will we talk about in the week ahead?
What he needs to be doing is being the commander-in-chief.
The Cade utility pole broke, causing power lines to fall on dry grass in the Texas Panhandle.
Taxes, when you raise them, slow growth.
Vanquish the radicals and take back our campuses.
52 weeks a year. We've got you covered.
News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
Donate to Junk for Joy. Donate to Junk for Joy. Donate your car today to Junk for Joy. Donate to Junk for Joy. Donate to Junk for Joy. Donate your car today to Junk for Joy.
Donate your car today at junkforjoy.org. You'll get a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
Donate your car today to Junk for Joy.
Donate today and your car will be picked up by tomorrow.
Guys, do you have lack of energy, motivation, possibly low libido? These symptoms could be caused by low T levels. At Centergenics, their medical providers specialize in customized testosterone treatment and make it quick and easy to get your levels checked. And at Centergenics, you'll get your results back at your first visit. To learn more and to book your appointment online, go to fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com. Locations in Prosper, McKinney, and Walnut Hill near North Park Mall.
Did you know you can lose up to 25% efficiency by having leaky windows in your home? It's really true. Hi, it's Ernie. This is a great time to replace those leaky and inefficient windows or replace that old shower or tub you've been putting off. Why? Well, because this month, Statewide is looking for 30 homeowners to receive free installation on a house full of windows or on a new bath and shower with no interest and no payments until 2026. Now, if that's not enough, you can receive up to a $1,200 tax credit by putting their energy-efficient windows in your home. Plus, the pros at Statewide are recognized as a top bathroom remodeler. From beautiful wall surround options to sleek shower enclosures and walk-in tubs, they have you covered. It's why they're recognized as one of the top bathroom remodelers. So, no interest and no payments until 2026, free installation. All you have to do is call now, 214-214-6000. That's 214-214-6000, or go online to statewideremodeling.com.
Spring is here, everything is blooming, and yes, that is so pretty here in North Texas, but did you know that growing tree roots could be causing those nagging drain issues? Call Benjamin Franklin Plumbing today and get ahead of what could be a very expensive repair. My husband and I had our plumbing checked in our home, and we couldn't be happier with our experience. Joe, the licensed plumber that was sent out, was extremely knowledgeable and knew exactly what he was talking about. And the women who own Benjamin Franklin Plumbing, they are true experts in their field, and they know that opening your home to a contractor requires plenty of trust. Right now, save $120 with their spring drain cleaning special. Call today to schedule yours for only $79. Randy from Mansfield tells us Ben Franklin Plumbing serviceman Lance came out and worked on our shower and hot water heater. We found his work excellent, timely, and would highly recommend him and his company. And don't forget, Benjamin Franklin Plumbing is the punctual plumber, and they will pay you $5 for every minute they're late, because if there's any delay, it's you they pay. Call Benjamin Franklin Plumbing today at 866-4BEN-NOW. That's 866-4BEN-NOW.
This report is sponsored by Alto.
Hi, I'm Will Coleman, CEO of Alto. You've just landed. Ready for that hike to the rideshare lot? Not with Alto. Save your steps. Alto drops you off and picks you up curbside. Try your first ride free with code TRYALTO. Download the Alto app or visit ridealto.com/radio to learn more.
Still dealing with about a half-hour delay in Grapevine on southbound 121 because of a crash right as you get to 114, blocking two left lanes. Expect to be stop and go from Grapevine Mills Boulevard. Dallas, we have a new crash, 30 eastbound at Sylvan Avenue, right lane blocked here. You also have a new crash in Garland on 30 eastbound at Bass Pro Drive. It's blocking the left lane. That one's causing about a 5 to 7 minute delay from Zion Road. And they cleared a disabled vehicle in Garland, eastbound 635 at Centerville Ferguson. Still about a 10-minute jam unwinding. With WBAP First Traffic, I'm Colin Ellis.
Brought to you by Novak Motors. Novak Motors sells gently used, well-maintained, low-mileage, one-owner vehicles that have passed a rigorous multi-point inspection. Honest, straightforward, no-stress car shopping is a Novak guarantee. Look for the big sign that says Novak Motors at 183 in Bedford, or call 817-616-0722.
Become a WBAP all-day listener, DFW, and ADL today. And keep connected. News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
Hey, welcome to the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Look, I'm just trying to keep up with Trump's court cases, and this is turning into, do you really care if he slept with an adult film star? Well, no, I don't think most of us do. Well, I don't know. It's kind of morphing with that, and you know, what are you doing for side money, side jobs, and I don't know. What do you think about this? 800-288-9227, 800-288-WBAP. And there's a little bit of a yin and a yang in this topic, because most people, if you had your druthers, if you had your perfect candidate, it would not be someone who sleeps with adult stars. If he even did sleep with her, I'm not saying he did, but I'm just saying whether or not he did, should it have any effect on whether or not you vote for him in November? Well, if you had two candidates that in all other ways were equal, and one of them had an affair with a porn star and the other one didn't, yeah, maybe so. But we don't have two candidates that are the same, which got me in trouble yesterday because I said they had a similar record on debt, and then I got like 3 or 4 comments, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it was that's a lot. That's a lot for people to go, I can't believe you think Trump and Biden are the same. They're not the same. They are not in all ways the same at all. They're very different people with different policies. I was just making the point that for my personal pet peeve policy, my number one issue would be balancing the budget. That way all this inflation goes away and the economy can settle down and not be boom and bust cycles. And a lot of the pain of the last few years, especially the inflation, would go away if only we would balance the budget. And this is how empires fall, by not balancing their budget, by getting too much debt, by inflating their currency, by collapsing their economy. This is how empires fall. This is how both Roman empires fell. This is how the Ottoman Empire fell. This is how the Spanish Empire fell. It's how the English Empire fell. So, I mean, how many times we got to watch it happen over and over? That's what I care about. What do you think? 800-288-WBAP. Let's go to Steve in Corsicana. What do you think?
Jay, how you doing, buddy?
I'm great, Steve. What do you think?
I think that guy you just talked to, he's a hack. He tells us that he needs to find somebody who we can look up to and who can actually be an idol. Who else is fighting the system like Trump? Nobody. There ain't a single person come anywhere close to doing what he's doing. He is the idol. I mean, come on. That guy is so full of it. He's one of them. You shouldn't even have him on your show.
You just called Trump an idol, and you think he's going too far?
Dude, think about this, right? You look at every rapper, basketball star, everybody that used to rap about Trump, they love Trump, this, that, because he's a self-made American millionaire. The only reason they hate him is because the freaking lefties hate him because he ran for president. And before that, dude, he was an idol by everybody.
All right,
Black, white, nobody cares.
But you don't see why some of us are hesitant to hear someone else use the term idol about a politician, right?
Well, I mean, dude, they say Taylor Swift is an idol, these kind of people, right? Come on, dude.
Okay.
I mean, all right.
Well,
it's a very loose term.
Good, because I caution people about worshiping any politician, even if you think he's on your team. We're not supposed to worship these guys. And look, I hold out a little more hope that even if he did have the perfect set of policy preferences in a nation of 330 million people, can we find someone else with similar policy preferences that doesn't have all this stink surrounding him? Now, apparently not anyone who can win in the primary, because he just torched them all. So the people who are supposed to be on the limited government, small government side, this is the guy you're giving with. So, I mean, out of the two options, he's closer to what some of our ideals are. But I don't think that should be good enough. And I think we should be a little more hesitant and skeptical about calling people idols and getting too much behind this cult of personality. We should be standing behind principles and policy platforms so that when Trump is gone, we don't have to recreate some cult of personality in order to carry the mantle on. It'll be someone else just stepping into this vacated seat.
Maybe he can help us tax it, man. I mean, it might be our only hope. Our only hope here.
Now you got me excited. Now,
okay.
Me and Steve are back
Maybe
on.
he can help us with that, all right? And we can be better people.
Yeah, you know what? When you talk about Texit, that's the one thing that gets my little Texan self-engorged downstairs. And I have no interest in politics. I have no interest in running for office. I think it's silly when people say, why don't you run for something? No, that's dumb. I would never win anything. But if Texas is going to secede, if Texas is going to, well, now I'll run for something. Now there's an office worth running for. Hang on, I get excited about that. Gloria in Plano, you're on the James Show. What do you think?
Well, I think pretty much what the other guy said. I don't think of Trump as an idol, but
thank you.
You're not going to find any politician that is flawless because they do things before they're 35 years old. And they
right.
They might regret them later. But
well, I would say, look, not to say you're wrong, but we had a pretty close to just a squeaky clean, perfect nerd in Mitt Romney. What negative on the moral spectrum? What negative thing was there about Mitt Romney? Didn't matter. They still called him evil. They still called him Nazi, racist, sexist, bigot, homophobe that hates puppies and probably farts in elevators.
Absolutely. Donald Trump is not perfect, but he was a great president. And he's the only one that can change things now because Joe Biden sure can't, and anybody they replace him with can't.
Well, you know what I say to people that say that? Were you supporting him in the primary process? Because that's when you had your chance to push through other people that could change it. Because you're right. Now, it's just going to be Trump versus Biden. There's no one else that can step in and take it over. But for all you people that are like, yeah, I don't like his policy positions and I don't like how he handled that or whatever, but it's the best we could do now. Where were you in the primary season? Were you supporting him then?
Absolutely. I did not support him when he ran the first time in the primary. I voted for Mitt Romney because I thought Donald Trump had no chance. But once he became president, I back him 100% because he did more for our country than anybody's done in a long time.
Okay. Well, thanks for.
And he had nothing to gain other than just helping the country.
Yeah, I like it when people add that because that is the rare instance where someone went into the White House and came out less affluent.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. Yes, and
that's a good sign.
A
that's a good sign.
Okay.
I agree. All right. Thank you, Gloria in Plano.
Thank you.
All right, if you want to be part of the conversation, we're going to continue. 800-288-9227. How about Ernest? Ernest in Dallas, you're on the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. What do you think, sir?
Yes, sir. The problem with your caller was that's the problem is his Trump voters think he's an idol. He is not an idol. He has flaws just like every other man. He didn't fix the budget. He had the worst budget of any president to date. He spent more money than any president. And everybody thinks he's a great businessman. He is not that great. He does some things.
Well, he's a good businessman.
I agree. He does things well.
He's a good businessman. It's not like he's a failed businessman. I know he inherited a bunch of money from his dad, but he took millions and
you know what he does? He gets himself out of trouble. He files for bankruptcy and he saves himself.
Bro, he didn't turn millions into billions. He didn't have like a #1 rated show on NBC for 9 years. He didn't have success in any of these other business ventures. No, you can't give him credit for that.
Well, yes, he did. He does have some great ventures, but when he did his college, that wasn't a great business venture. And right now, the one with his Truth Social, is that a great business venture? The only one that's going to get rich, it seems like I've been hearing, is Donald Trump. People that are buying the stock are not going to get rich.
Well, sounds like a good business venture for him. All right, I appreciate you calling in.
It started at $80 and it went down to $25. Is that a great venture?
Well, that's not the total measure of the success of a business, but that doesn't sound too good. I saw he made quite a bit of money off of it, so depends on how you want to grade that report card. But I just like to point out that when people use the term idol, there's like literally the second commandment of the 10 Commandments: "Thou shalt not make graven images," or idols, depending on how you want to translate that. So I'm just really hesitant. I find that word abrasive, even though I know y'all don't mean it like we're going to make like a little statue of Trump and we're going to worship him and sacrifice a chicken and a pentagram to him or anything weird like that. Just I get hesitant when I hear that word. Like, yeah, you're going a little too far for anybody on any side. I like it, even if it was a libertarian. If you're talking about like a Rand Paul or a Melee or something, I'm like, let's not go down the idol territory. 800-288-9227, 800-288-WBAP. It's the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Company vehicle accidents are on the rise, and as a result, serious injury and deaths are on the rise as well. A company vehicle is any car, truck, van, SUV, bus, or fleet vehicle that is used for business purposes. If you or a loved one has been in an accident with a company vehicle, call Thomas J. Henry. We handle serious company vehicle accidents and get serious results. Call Thomas J. Henry today. Available 24/7, nights and weekends.
Dallas, Fort Worth, and San Antonio, Texas.
Can you spot the difference?
Don't get burned, get a Firehouse Roof.
And then...
Don't get burned, get a Firehouse Roof.
I'm sure you could spot the difference, but it's not always that easy to spot the difference when choosing a roofing company. Firehouse has been serving DFW for over 26 years and is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. If you have a damaged or leaking roof, call Firehouse today.
Don't get burned, get a Firehouse Roof.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
This is my father, Bob.
This is my daughter, Lisa.
And we love Balance of Nature. Don't you?
You think I'm going to say no to her? Balance of Nature is a very good product. It's simple application, a simple thing to take.
It's fruits and veggie in a capsule.
That's it. Balance of Nature has helped me get along very well.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer. And for a limited time, get 35% off your first order, plus $10 off any additional sets with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code DALLAS.
Discover new interest, reignite old passions, and thrive at the Staten at Museum Way. Nestled in the heart of Fort Worth, the Staten is a senior living community like no other. Indulge in luxury amenities, gourmet dining, and exciting endeavors every day. Your next adventure awaits. Call 817-646-7181 or visit thestaten.com to schedule a tour today.
Hall of Fame linebacker Mike Singletary is always cool under pressure.
Not always. Last summer, our AC went out and our house was hot. And so was I.
Thankfully, Mike called Baker Brothers.
One of my cool friends recommended Baker Brothers at callbakernow.com. So I did. And they came out, diagnosed the problem, and told us what they needed to do to fix it. They were professionals and did exactly what they said they were going to do. It was great. My wife and I looked at each other and said, wow, now that's cool. Baker Brothers exceeded our expectations, and we haven't had a problem with our AC since. Thanks, Baker Brothers.
You got it, Mike. This is Jimmy Dell, president of Baker Brothers Plumbing, Air, and Electric. If you need your AC repaired or replaced, go to callbakernow.com and schedule now. We have over 18,000 five-star reviews and offer 100% satisfaction guarantee.
Baker Brothers.
Great service.
What's the biggest mistake you can make when selling your home? Settling for less money. Not with Orchard. Orchard helps you get top dollar for your home. And Orchard gives you an impressive guaranteed cash offer. With a solid cash offer in your back pocket, you can hold out for the price you deserve. Imagine knowing your home is guaranteed to sell. Get the most money for your home with Orchard. Get your free guaranteed cash offer at Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
DFW's News, Talk, Traffic, and Weather Station. News Talk 820 WBAP. And now on FM at 93.3.
Streaming live on our free mobile app.
A Cumulus Media Station. Trending now.
A meeting between the House Speaker and a Congresswoman threatening to oust him. I'm Eric Bushman from the Novak Motors News Desk.
ClassicChevrolet.com. WBAP's first traffic and weather.
On the ones.
We've been dealing with a crash most of the afternoon in Grapevine on southbound 121 at 114. It's taking up two left lanes, causing about a 30 to 45-minute delay back from Grapevine Mills Boulevard. We have a new crash in Dallas on the northbound Dallas North Tollway just before Forest. One right lane blocked here, still about a 30-minute jam built up already back from Walnut Hill. And in Garland, you have a crash 30 eastbound at Bass Pro Drive. Left lane blocked by this one. That's about a 5 to 10-minute jam from Zion Road. With WBAP, first traffic and weather on on the ones. I'm Colin Ellis.
Why do so many Texans love classic Chevrolet and Grapevine? We're the #1 Chevy dealership in the world. New Silverados, more than anyone. Malibus, Blazers, Equinox. Gotta visit ClassicChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. Based on new Chevrolet registrations 2023.
WBAP forecast, sunny this afternoon, a high in the low 90s. It is 91 in Dallas, 90 in Fort Worth. This news brought to you by American Medical Plans. Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene and Congressman Thomas Massie spoke to reporters after having discussions with House Speaker Mike Johnson today. Greene says they discussed a number of priorities they want the party to pursue and insisted the ball is in his court.
The things that we've discussed about that got leaked out to the press are very simple, and they serve the American people. They serve the people that gave us the majority, and we're interested to see his actions, not his words.
A Republican official writing on social media platform X, their demands include no more funding for Ukraine and defunding special counsels. Your Money News: Apple has released new versions of its iPad and iPad Pro tablets today.
They are the thinnest iPads yet, driven by a new M4 chip. The M4, an upgrade from the 3s that run Apple's laptop. The larger size at 13 inches starts at about $1,300. The smaller 11-inch, about $1,000. Both snap into a case Apple calls the Magic Keyboard, pairing the tablet with a keyboard and a trackpad. The keyboard will cost $250 or $300, dependent upon size. Apple also releasing a new Apple Pencil Pro for about $130. Kimberly James, WBAP News.
The Dow closed up 32 points, NASDAQ down 17, the S&P 500 up by 7. Again, the high today in the low 90s. It is 91 in Dallas, 90 in Fort Worth. I'm Eric Bushman. Your next news update is at 4 o'clock. Check back several times throughout your day and keep connected, DFW, to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
What a great time to be a sports fan here in North Texas. Home of the defending World Series champion Texas Rangers and home of the Dallas Stars and Dallas Mavericks, who have both advanced to the second round of the NHL and NBA playoffs. Now, if only the Dallas Cowboys could figure it out. From our Mullen & Mullen Law Firm Sports Desk, I'm Steve Lamb. It's easy to throw the Cowboys under the bus for the lack of success they've had in the postseason for almost 30 years now. But depending on how the next couple of months go, you just never know. 1999, that was the last time, the only time, the Dallas Stars won the Stanley Cup. Maybe this year's team has what it takes to go all the way. Stars getting ready to begin a series against the Colorado Avalanche. First game tonight, 8:30 on home ice at the AAC. And then you've got a Mavericks team that seems unbeatable when they're clicking with Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. Mavs took 6 games to finish off the LA Clippers in round 1. Now they get this Oklahoma City Thunder team that NBA Hall of Famer Shaquille O'Neal is on a mission. Of course, they're on the same mission the Mavericks are in trying to win the NBA championship. And in baseball, with the Mariners losing last night and the Rangers winning at Oakland, Texas back in first place in the AL West standings. That's your Tuesday afternoon sports update. I'm Steve Lamb.
DFW's most listened to news, traffic, and weather station.
News Talk 820 WBAP. And now on FM at 93.3.
Hey there, welcome. This is the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. I am your host, James Parker. And if you go find us on Facebook, WBAP on Facebook or on X or YouTube or whatever, we're streaming a video version of the show right now. And so if you leave a comment, I see the comments and I can pop them up on the screen. I don't know if you'll notice a pattern. If you tell me how much you love the show, I'm much more likely to pop your comment up on the screen because I like myself a little bit sometimes. I want to introduce you to someone very special to me. His name is Woke Jesus. Don't get upset. This is all a joke. God, seriously, calm down. But this is from the Babylon Bee. The Babylon Bee is a success based solely on grassroots social media support. It is a parody news website that happens to be right-wing only because it is filling in this gap that the left wing won't touch. The Daily Show is good. I'm not saying it's great or it's brilliant. Saturday Night Live is good. But they leave all of this material untouched because of their political, just wall of separation. Or we can't make fun of anything left. So the Babylon Bee works almost exclusively in that area. And because they're competing against no one in that space, They have just been wildly successful. I love the Babylon Bee. And the longer they've been around, the more successful they've got, the more people they've been able to hire, the better they've got. And they really just knocked me out with this latest one. They have a video called Woke Jesus. And it's a dude running around acting like Jesus. And it's a parody. So some of the jokes are taking things that are, sort of fish out of water paradigm, where things that we're talking about now, if you put anything like that in the setting of Jesus in the year 32 AD, it's going to sound silly. So there's kind of some natural funny things like that. But buried between those other jokes is very salient philosophical points that illustrate, without having to have a long debate or point out scripture or whatever, of how these two things do not go together on a handful of issues. And it seems like the woke people have their hearts in the right place. They just want to make the world a better place. That's why some of these kids are camping out in schools and camping out in the quad, and they think they're fighting the man. They think they're stopping a genocide. And so even if your heart's in the right place, listen to the things that you're saying. Listen to the policies that you support. And before we get into the one that has all the just devastating philosophical critique, it's just fun to hear woke Jesus try and deal with the new gender situation, because, it says in the beginning, God created man and a woman, but that's not what the woke Jesus says.
Haven't you read that in the beginning, God created them male and female, and genderqueer, femboy, trans man, trans woman, two-spirit, bigender, non-binary, demi-boy, omnigender, pangender, xenogender, someone who identifies as a large ornate building, tater-tot gender, ghost boy, tri-spirit, weather gender, transfemme, polyfluid, dolphin man, yodel boy, goomba sexual.
And also, let's not forget the James Show listener, Vinny, who identifies as a cat. So that's a good little play there. Now, no great philosophical points we're making, and it wasn't anything that dismantled the other side. But this collection, look, it's a really long video. There's 11 or so minutes of jokes. But I went through and I made a montage of the ones where it's not like, look, that's not just a joke. That's actually making a very valid point of how these two things do not overlap very well. And two things, I mean, woke and Jesus do not overlap very well. So woke Jesus's words of wisdom, not just jokes. He's making some great points here. The Babylon Bee is making some great points here.
As the Lord was setting out on a journey, a certain young man approached him.
Oh, my Lord, what must I do to be saved?
Be less white. But the man went away sad, for he was very white.
Did you hear that? How do I be saved? Be less white. Jesus said be less white. Let's go back in history in just a second. Hang on a second. I was in Sunday school when I was a kid, and we had to go through the little, learning about the lessons of Jesus and how do you be saved. I remember being told you have to accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior, or, and forsake all others. I also heard that parable or something similar to it where the guy came up to him, how am I saved? And he told the rich man, well, give up all your possessions and follow me. And he went away because he knew he couldn't do that, but no, you change it into being white, and it is funny, but what a great point. This is how you be saved. Don't be white, or be less white, as if there's like a gradient to it. What, you want me to go get a sunburn?
As the Lord was setting out on a journey, a certain young man approached him.
Oh, my Lord, what must I do to be saved?
Be less white. But the man went away sad, for he was very white.
My Lord, if you had been here, my brother Lazarus would not have died.
Do not be afraid, for Lazarus will live again through this mail-in ballot. No one comes to the Father except by reducing their carbon footprint and getting vaccinated 12 times. Cancel your enemies, curse those who bless you, and burn down the whole country if you don't get your way.
It's a miracle. Jesus has multiplied the fish and the loaves.
Oh, no, my son. I've merely stolen it from that village over there. It's called wealth redistribution. Would you like to be healed, my son?
Yes, of course, Jesus. Thank you. Thank you.
Then fear not, for I have supported a new healthcare bill that will force you to buy insurance. Because I am a good person.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Babylon B. I follow him on Instagram and Twitter/X. Good job, guys. It's hard to admit when somebody's funnier than me, but I've never written anything that funny in my life. This is The James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
There's something happening here.
Schools nationwide are trying to regain control after days of demonstrations.
What it is ain't exactly clear.
Us as Jewish American students, the first thing that we went out there for was to support, Israel's right to exist.
1,000 people in the street singing songs and a carrying signs. From the sea to the river. From the sea to the river. Palestine will live forever. Palestine will live forever. Stop, children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
Keep connected, DFW. News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America, N.A. Copyright 2024.
Hi, everybody. Hal J. here for my friends at Mueller Steel Buildings and Metal Roofing. With the recent hail damage from storms, many of you are going to be looking to replace your roof. And my friends at Mueller Steel Buildings and Metal Roofing have the long-term solution. Pro-Via Metal Roofs offer the wind, fire, and hail-resistant protections Mueller is known for. I've had a Mueller metal roof on my home for years, 35 years or so, and it looks great to this day. But Pro-Via metal roofs, they're different. Their steel panels are made to look like shingle, slate, shake, or barrel tile. How about that? Go to MuellerInc.com to check out the Pro-Via line of products for yourself. Plus, Mueller has an innovative way to measure to accurately quote your roofing project. It's called Hover, also on their website. Mueller has the solutions, 877-2-MUELLER, or MuellerInc.com. MuellerInc.com, 877-2-MUELLER. Tell them Hal said to call.
Are you ready for more? Hello, it's Dane Miner, General Manager of Freeman Toyota. And when you shop with Freeman Toyota, you get 3 years of complimentary oil changes, plus 3 years of complimentary tire rotations, plus a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty with every new Freeman Toyota. 3 years of complimentary oil changes, plus tire rotations, plus a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Like I said, you get a lot more, and you won't pay a dime for it. Come see us at 183 and 820 or shop online at freemantoyota.com.
This is Shane Mullen with Mullen & Mullen Injury Law Firm. I don't have a funny nickname or a silly TV spot. We do have over 40 years experience fighting for injured North Texans and low pre-suit fees. Being local matters, and we win. Call me, 214-INJURED, mullenandmullen.com.
Hello, Patriots. Have you got rotten egg smelling water? Who can stand it? My name is Cara, and I will personally schedule your free water test. Call us today at 888-763-0050 or go online to nationspure.com and let's talk about your water solutions.
Hey, my friends and realtors Dan Harker and Empower Home Team are on fire. Hi, I'm Brad Barton. Home sellers, I'm giving you the strongest recommendation I can to call Dan Harker and Empower Home Team with Keller Williams. Call them right now if you're looking to get top dollar for your home and have your home showcased directly to actual home buyers. Yes, real people are looking for homes like yours right now. Empower Home Team's results are staggering. No matter where you live in Dallas-Fort Worth or North Texas at large, for that matter, you're going to get top-level service and much higher profits from your sale. Please don't go with the agency that's only going to, quote, internet market your home. That's not going to be good enough. It's a fact. Dan Harker already has over 13,900 ready home buyers, and he'll sit down and show you the list. All you need to do is pick up the phone and call Empower Home Team at 844-672-SOLD. That's 844-672-SOLD, or visit HarkerHasTheBuyers.com. That's HarkerHasTheBuyers.com.
Brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Build a self-care routine at Whole Foods Market. Save 33% on all body care and candles with Prime through May 7th. From luscious shampoos to sun care essentials, you're sure to find a new favorite. While supplies last, shop in-store or online. Terms apply.
Finally, had a crash clear up in Grapevine from southbound 121 at 114. Still have about 5 to 10 minutes of extra commute time unwinding. Look out for extra brake lights around Grapevine Mills. We have a crash in the right lane of the northbound Dallas North Tollway just before Forest. It's causing about 10 to 15 minutes of extra stop and go from Lover's Lane. You also have a crash in Garland, eastbound I-30 at Bass Pro Drive. Left lane blocked here and about a 5 to 10 minute jam built up from Zion Road. And there's a new crash in Sunnyvale, eastbound Highway 80 at Highway 352 Collins. Traffic crossing into the entrance merge lane to get by. That's about 20 extra minutes from Beltline. With WBAP First Traffic, I'm Colin Ellis.
Brought to you by Men's Edge Medical. Men, have you tried Cialis and Viagra and didn't like the way they made you feel? You're not alone. At Men's Edge Medical, they've helped thousands of Metroplex men perform better and last longer. Call Men's Edge today for a confidential appointment. 972-996-0900.
From the Airco AC Heating and Plumbing Studio, this is News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3.
Welcome to the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. For most of human history, the most intriguing part of a woman's anatomy has been her upper torso, but things started to change in the late 80s, early 90s as Buns of Steel came on the scene. And now butt culture is everywhere, but I think the genesis, the ground zero, the patient zero for the modern butt culture, of which, I mean, Nicki Minaj, Meg the Stallion, Iggy Azalea, all these, Jennifer Lopez, Kim Kardashian, they all have a debt. They all owe gratitude to Buns of Steel. Well, one of the original hosts of Buns of Steel is on the show now, Lisa Hart, who has kept herself in pretty good shape. If you check out her website. Welcome to the James Show. Are you the original Bun of Steel?
Well, I do, in fact, have two buns. However, no, I was not the original. The original was this dude named Greg Smythe who taught aerobics classes in Anchorage, Alaska. Some lady said, woo, after that workout, I'm going to have Buns of Steel.
Wait, so Buns of Steel comes from Alaska?
They originate. So if you want them, you do not have to go there. But that is where they were born.
Well, good for Alaska. You know, for such a small population, they give the world so much. Well, whose picture was it? Because that wasn't a dude's picture on the box that I used to have to walk by in the video store. Was that yours?
Well, so that would either be Tammy Lee Webb, who came on after Greg Smythe then sold the name and the brand to Warner Brothers. So then Tammy Lee Webb starred in many of the first, and then they needed a new set of buns for whatever reason. And mine are now the buns that you see on all the covers.
So you're
of the more recent ones.
You're the reigning Buns of Steel. That's who I'm talking to now.
That would be it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Now, I didn't bring you in here to talk about butts the entire time. There was a Gallup poll that shows a record number of people are not sleeping well. And this overlaps with fitness, according to you, Lisa. Explain yourself.
Explain myself. Thank you very much. It matters. Weight matters with regard to your sleep. So a lack of sleep totally messes with your hormones. And so, ladies, gentlemen, it ain't your fault. You just need to get more sleep, and that could be what's causing those not only midnight snack cravings, but just kind of messing with those cravings throughout the day.
You know, I've heard that advice from two different arenas. Number one is bodybuilders or, serious athletes. They swear they've got to get at least 8, sometimes 9 hours of sleep, or things just don't work appropriately. Another one is, you remember Sean, the lady that was filling in before I started in January, Mary Walter? Her husband is a sleep doctor, and he, does sleep studies and stuff. And he actually said most of the people that end up getting on CPAP machines, if they would just lose some weight, 20, 30 pounds, they wouldn't need it. They would be sleeping better without help.
Well, many, many dis-eases can be controlled by starting with getting accurate sleep. They can be improved and possibly even controlled.
What diseases are we talking about, Lisa?
Oh, you see, I even said dis-ease, and then you just went full on into it.
Oh, see, I fell for the rhetorical trick.
Yes,
you got me.
Yes. However, They include, like you mentioned, sleep apnea, thyroid problems, heart disease, diabetes, obesity, which, was the chicken before the egg, and even depression.
The number one thing I can tell people if you're having problems sleeping, are you exercising? Because on the days where I work out, I don't have a problem sleeping. Why? Because I'm tired.
Yeah. You're tired and the body's happy. And the body is very, very smart. And it's like, wow, he exercised today. He worked out. He burned more energy. He might do this tomorrow in a perfect world. And so I should let him get some more shut-eye and reward him for that. And then thus restoring the body so that it can get up and do the same thing again tomorrow.
All right, Lisa Hart, Raining Buns of Steel. Give me some advice on, or not me, but the guy listening to us, give him some advice on how he can do better getting enough sleep.
So there are just some things that you can do about developing a better routine. One of them is, we love that you're listening to us right here on the radio, and you're probably listening on Wi-Fi and everything, but you got to shut those things down at least an hour before bed, especially screen time. So, hey, their radio is better. Screen time, we've got to allow the neurotransmitters in the brain to slow down. And it's very important that you try to establish a routine. And I'm kicking myself for even having that tone, because I'm saying it as if they're going to go, no, Lisa, that's stupid. Get a routine, folks. Get to bed during the week at least on a semi-consistent schedule. Try to be in bed at least by 10 o'clock. And then create a bedtime ritual. Reading a book would be a good idea. Listening to calming music, doing some relaxing stretching. All of these allow the brain, all of this that I'm saying is to let the brain go, it's time to go to sleep.
All right, Lisa Hart, how can the guy find out more about what you're doing these days post Buns of Steel?
I got a lot going on. And you can find out all of that at my site, lisahart.com. And I'm unique. I got an E in there. It's LEISAHART.com.
All right. A lot going on. You'll have to come back on the show. You were fun. Thanks for putting up with all my butt references earlier.
We can go way more.
Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your buns right now?
They are slightly more pliable, but they are so sweet. Scale of 1 to 10. If they were a 10 in the Buns of Steel days, I'm 56 now, and I am very proud of my scale of 1 to 10, 8 buns.
All right. So buns of maybe aluminum, maybe?
Yeah. We're going with a little more pliable.
Right. Maybe gold. Gold's nice and pliable. Thank you, Lisa Hart. LEISA Hart.com. Don't just go to our website to look for a bud either. Be grown-ups, people. All right, coming up, we have some updates going on the Trump trial. I'll get you all caught up on that and some more news of the day. It's the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Retired or retiring soon? How much money do you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1. Find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2. Have a plan to get there. Step 3. Make sure that plan can take advantage of market gains but protect you from market losses. Discover how to do all three with a free consultation at 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. Before selecting an AC company, please take 10 minutes to go read Google reviews. There's an epidemic of salesmen disguised as technicians trying to con people into buying new systems. The reviews are all the same. The tech comes out, disappears for 10 minutes, then says you need a whole new system for 15 grand. Those lucky enough to get a second opinion often report there was nothing wrong with their system in the first place. At Reliant Air Conditioning, our techs don't work on commission and they don't sell new systems. While we're certainly not perfect, I personally get involved with every negative review to make sure we make it right. So choose 2 other companies first, read their reviews, and then read ours, and you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Right now, you can combine factory and utility rebates to save over $5,000 on a brand new system. Our number is 877-YOUR-HERO or ReliantAirConditioning.com.
This year, resolve to take care of all of those pesky home repair projects you've been putting off in an easy, stress-free way. The Good Contractors List has fully vetted contractors for all of your home projects, from solar panels to siding, foundation repair to fencing. The Good Contractors List has the pro for you. And even better than that, they back all their contractors with a $10,000 guarantee. So you're not left with an unfinished project if something goes awry. Promising such a hefty guarantee means the Good Contractors List has to carefully select only the best contractors with a proven track record of solid work and great business ethics. Stop worrying that your project could go sideways and find your stress-free home contractors for every project at thegoodcontractorslist.com. That's thegoodcontractorslist.com.
Think identity theft won't happen to you? Think again. There's a new victim every 3 seconds in the U.S., over 15 million this year alone, and many don't even know they're victims. LifeLock alerts you to identity threats you could miss even when you monitor your credit. If your identity's stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% their first year with my name, Clay, as the promo code at LifeLock.com.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go: shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit NoTimeToWait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
For over 120 years, Dallas Plumbing and Air Conditioning has been serving the Dallas and Fort Worth area's air conditioning, heating, and plumbing needs. With our decades of experience, you can rest assured our certified experts will keep your home running at its best. Visit Dallas Plumbing at DallasPlumbing.com and ask about our $79 AC tune-up special. Get ready for those hot days now. Call us at 469-599-7200 or visit DallasPlumbing.com. That's DallasPlumbing.com. Licensed DACLB 50010E.
Are you ready to accelerate your success? Don't miss the Accelerate Conference at Gateway Church on May 17th. Discover how God's way can transform your business and personal life with guest speakers like leadership guru John Maxwell, Dr. Phil, Pastor Robert Morris. This event promises invaluable insights. Enjoy book signings, breakout sessions, and an expert panel to answer all your questions. Use promo code WBAP and save 20% on your registration fee. Don't wait any longer. Secure your spot now at GBLAccelerate.com. That's GBLAccelerate.com.
DFW's News, Talk, Traffic, and Weather Station. News Talk 820 WBAP AM, Fort Worth, Dallas. 93.3 WBAP FM, Haltom City, Dallas. And 99.5 KPLX FM HD2, Fort Worth, Dallas.
Streaming live on our free mobile app.
A Cumulus Media Station.
Trending now.
A porn star at the center of alleged hush money payments takes the stand in the Trump trial. I'm Eric Bushman from the Novak Motors News Desk.
ClassicChevrolet.com. WBAP's first traffic and weather.
On the ones.
Problem spot clearing on Highway 80 eastbound at Collins, but still pretty heavy there back to Beltline Road. That's a 10-minute backup. I-30 eastbound at Bass Pro Drive, you've got one in the left lane. The 10-minute delay there is stretching back to Zion Road. And Woodall Rogers eastbound at I-45, that one still blocks the right center lane. It's heavy all the way across to I-35E. With WBAP's first traffic on the ones, I'm Monty Cook.
Why do so many Texans love Classic Chevrolet and Grapevine? We're the #1 Chevy dealership in the world. New Silverados, more than anyone. Malibus, Blazers, Equinox, gotta visit ClassicChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. Based on new Chevrolet registrations 2023.
I'm WFA meteorologist Kyle Roberts. One more warm day before a little cooler weather returns late weekend into the upcoming weekend. Tonight, though, it'll be warm and muggy, a low of 72. Then 91 tomorrow afternoon. Could have a few late-day thunderstorms out there. That coverage around 30%. We'll also watch for those to be strong to severe. Thursday's cooler, but also could feature some scattered rain, a 30% coverage and a high of 79. We're dry on Friday with a high of 76. The upcoming weekend will be spent in the upper 70s.
92 degrees in Dallas, 91 in Fort Worth. This news brought to you by Reliant Air Conditioning. Adult film actress Stormy Daniels took the stand today in former President Donald Trump's hush money trial in New York. Here's Fox's Eric Shawn.
The judge seemed to lose patience with the prosecution questioning throughout the morning at some point, but they heard a lot about sex. Ms. Daniels, testifying this morning, appeared nervous. She spoke quickly at first. She talked about meeting Mr. Trump 18 years ago, back in 2006, at that celebrity golf tournament in Lake Tahoe. And then she went into detail describing having sexual relations with him. She related also how they later kept in touch. She said he would call her about once a week and visited him at Trump Tower, where he introduced her to everybody, she said, and offered advice on getting a role on The Apprentice, but that role never appeared.
Trump's accused of falsifying business records and making payments to Daniels to cover up that affair prior to the 2016 presidential election. Historians are comparing current pro-Palestinian demonstrations on American college campuses to other wartime protests. Jeffrey Engel is a history professor at SMU and says protests over Vietnam did not become large until late in the war.
Massive protests of 100,000 people and more. Those weren't actually until the 1970s when changes in the way the draft was conducted put college kids in particular, invigorated them to protest the war. So right now we're seeing very, very small protests in comparison to anything we saw in Vietnam, although Vietnam started very, very small as well.
Engel says that groups that are protesting the Israel-Hamas war today are using social media to their advantage to reach more people with their message. Your money news: this year's issues with the FAFSA federal college financial aid form are the target of a congressional hearing. Education Secretary Miguel Cardona testified before the House Education and Workforce Committee.
As a parent of a high school senior and a student in college, I know how important this is for our families, and we're committed to getting it right and making sure we open doors to access to higher education for more students across our country.
The process, which tells students how much financial aid they can get for college, has been marred by delays and glitches. It makes it more difficult for students to decide what college to attend. The Dow closed up 32 points, NASDAQ down 17, the S&P 500 up by 7. Again, the low tonight around 72. It is 92 in Dallas, 91 in Fort Worth. I'm Eric Bushman. Your next news update is at 4:30. Check back several times throughout your day and keep connected, DFW, to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
This hour on WBAP is brought to you by the Will Hite Law Firm Injury Lawyers. Go to willhitewins.com.
Hey there, welcome to the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Let's go. I got an hour left. I'm going to pummel you with all kinds of goofy stuff over the next, 55 minutes. It's going to be 55 minutes of radio genius. So just stay put. Don't get too excited, though, because you're not, I don't know if you're going to be smarter after hearing this. This is kind of like yesterday's show. My next guest is coming back on the show, Jorge Vila, criminal defense attorney. Welcome back to the James Show.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, listen, I've been talking to lawyers a lot because Trump's had a whole bunch of court cases, 91 charges or something that are supposed to be dealt with between now and November. And I'm asking you, I think this is the second time I'm asking you, has any lawyer been able to come up with an answer for me on why all the court sketches are colored chalk on a grocery bag? Any answer on that?
That's a little out of my wheelhouse right there. But I would hope that if I was in that courtroom as one of the attorneys, that they would get a good sketch artist to get my good side.
Well, these guys can draw, and when you see them do it, I've even seen like reports on the sketch artists. They can whip these things out in like 30 seconds. So I don't know what kind of hurry they're in, but I still don't have a good answer to that. But that's the least of our worries. I'm looking at a court sketch right now of Stormy Daniels, who looks better in her movie career than she does on the side of a grocery bag, I must say. But this has been the big headlines of the day. Why is Stormy Daniels' testimony getting so much attention today, Jorge?
She is an important witness, but not the most important witness in the trial. The reason that she is so important for the prosecution's case is that ultimately they need to establish that Trump was trying to cover something up. And this sexual encounter that allegedly happened with Ms. Daniels is what led to the falsification of his business records, claiming that the payment to Michael Cohen was not repayment for a hush money, but was instead legal expenses and had nothing to do with this alleged affair. And so for prosecutors, it's important to establish for the jury that a sexual encounter occurred because that provided the motivation to falsify the business records.
So why is that Trump's story? Why doesn't he just say, yeah, I slept with her and then I paid her to shut her up? That's not illegal.
You are correct. That's not illegal. What is illegal, though, is the falsification of the business records. And I don't think that Trump's defense team or Trump himself wants to give any ground on this, right? I think that you bring up a good point. I'll say this. As a defense attorney, you don't want to lose credibility in front of the jury. I mean, ultimately, the jury is going to believe the side that has more credibility. Credibility is going to be established through facts that come out during the case, but also, whether or not they're arguing things that just seem unreasonable, right? If a defense attorney stands up there and goes way too far out on a limb on one of their arguments in front of a jury, they're going to lose credibility during their closing arguments. And so I think you bring up a great point that they shouldn't be arguing every single detail of this case. Now, the Stormy Daniels testimony is a slippery slope. I think that they need to stay strong. They need to stay firm and deny that sexual encounter ever occurred, because ultimately that's motivation. That's what prosecutors are trying to show. There was a motive to falsify these business records if this sexual encounter did occur.
Okay, so how exactly does this run afoul of federal election law? Because I believe that's the statute that's being pursued here.
Yeah, it's a matter of lying to the government, ultimately. To put it simply for listeners, I mean, if you are falsifying these records and then ultimately when you have to make campaign finance disclosures, it's lying, right? You're ultimately lying on government documents. And so, look, ultimately, it does not have to do with election integrity like the other two cases allegedly in Georgia and Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm.
But, from Trump's perspective, this is a concerted effort by the Democratic Party to affect the upcoming election. And so they're painting it as, in their opinion, some type of election interference from the Democrats, which is, I think, a creative argument from Trump's lawyers.
Well, some of this echoes the other case he had in New York, where he filled out some forms and they checked out with him and his finance team and his lawyers. And then for the banks, they have a team that looks at it, and their lawyers and accountants or whatever looked at it. Everybody looked at it, thought it was okay. They did business. Everybody got paid. Everyone's happy. Everybody would be willing to do business again. So there was really no one complaining. There was just an outside government third party saying, hey, I think you lied on this document. And that seems to be the situation going on with here. Stormy Daniels seemed to be happy with the payout. Donald Trump seemed to be happy with the situation. Who's the victim here?
In that civil trial, the court found that Trump committed fraud. But look, there is a common argument that Trump's defense team is making here is that he's being treated differently. It's an argument that I think resonates with the American people here, because if every single detail was scrutinized by federal or state investigators on a mortgage application that you or I submitted, I mean, they're bound to find some kind of error that we committed in that mortgage application and then accuse us of mortgage fraud. Same thing that happens here, right? I mean, ultimately, we're talking about paperwork that was filled out allegedly by other individuals, not by Trump himself. And so the argument from the defense team is, look, they are just finding any excuse to go after Trump. They're treating him differently from any other individual. And again, there is a political spin to these prosecutions, according to the Trump attorneys. It is a concerted effort to affect, in essence, the 2024 election that's against him. It's something I think that resonates, and it's a good argument that Trump's attorneys are making.
Well, Jorge Vila, what's your response to the people who are making a parallel between, okay, so Trump had an affair and he had to pay off Stormy Daniels, but he's getting in trouble for it. However, Bill Clinton had an affair, or maybe more than that, and had to pay off women as well. There's a couple of them. Paula Jones is probably the most well-known one, $800,000. What's the difference in those two cases, and why is one illegal and the other one didn't get any smoke?
Context. Ultimately, we're dealing with an individual who is accused of trying to overturn a fair and free election that occurred in 2020. And so the criminal charges that we're seeing out of New York, I think, should be taken in context with the wider criminal prosecutions that are occurring across the nation against Donald Trump. if there is some alleged affair that occurred with other politicians, it was not in the context of an ex-president who is accused of election interference in the Georgia case and then trying to overturn a free and fair election in the D.C. case. And so I think that we're comparing apples and oranges here. There's no comparison between what Trump has done and then what other politicians that may have had affairs has done. It's all about context here.
All right. Well, thanks for being on the show again, Jorge Vila from Vila Law. He's a criminal defense attorney. Thanks for sharing your expertise on the James Show.
Thank you.
All right. What'd you think of Jorge's take on the updates from today's Trump court case? 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. After we get done talking about this, did you hear the Boy Scouts changed their name? Yeah, they're not like the other scouts or the non-binary scouts. It'll just be Scouting America, but I've got some opinions on that coming up. It's the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Wednesday at 6:47, we talk with Victoria Coach from the Heritage Foundation for the latest on the war in the Middle East.
And at 7:17, what will Donald Trump do if elected? We hear from a National Review writer.
I'm Ernie Brown.
And I'm Carla Marion. Monty Cook has your traffic on the ones. Chief Meteorologist Brad Barton has your forecast. Steve Lamb has sports. And Nicole Osei has your news updates at the top and bottom of each hour, along with your money news. And Hal J keeps us laughing.
It's all on Wednesday's WBAP Morning News, 5 till 9 on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
Can you spot the difference?
Don't get burned, get a firehouse roof.
And then,
don't get burned, get a firehouse roof.
I'm sure you could spot the difference, but it's not always that easy to spot the difference when choosing a roofing company. Firehouse has been serving DFW for over 26 years and is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. If you have a damaged or leaking roof, call Firehouse today.
Don't get burned, get a firehouse roof.
At the Wilhite Law Firm, we handle accident cases differently. If you're injured, we'll drive to your home to meet you. We'll return every call and keep you updated every step of the way. Here's the difference. We were awarded Best Law Firm in 2023 because we work with you side by side. We win big for our clients. Texas-size settlements big. Get your free case review at WilhiteWins.com. That's WilhiteWins.com. WilhiteWins.com. Don't delay. Click today.
Prior results do not guarantee similar outcome.
Hey, Mike Singletary. Do you know Baker Brothers is celebrating its 80th anniversary?
No, but I do now. Congrats, Jimmy.
Thanks. What were you doing back in 1945?
Hello, I wasn't born yet. I was still a glimmer in my dad's eye. Come on, Jimmy.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, in 1945 at Baker Brothers Plumbing, Air, and Electric, we were fixing all kinds of things,
Like plumbing, drains, and water heaters. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, you're good, Mike Singletary.
That's what they say, Jimmy.
This is Jimmy Dell, president of Baker Brothers Plumbing, Air, and Electric. If you need your AC repaired or replaced, go to callbakernow.com and schedule now. We have over 18,000 five-star reviews and offer 100% satisfaction guarantee.
For great service, leave it to the pros at Baker Brothers. Call them today.
Thanks, Mike Singletary.
Baker Brothers.
Great service.
Balance of Nature supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
The Fiber and Spice is a very effective product. There's no question. A product that is very reliable. It's a very good product.
I swear by these. Probably the best products that I've ever used. I think they're just simply good for your body.
When I used to work, I used to do my art over the weekend all the time. And now I do yard work. I have been doing yard work. I can sweep my floor and make my place look nice. And I take Balance of Nature, and yeah, it feels really good.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer. And for a limited time, get 35% off your first order, plus $10 off any additional sets. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code DALLAS.
This report is sponsored by Affordable Dentures and Implants. Get your smile back. Affordable Dentures and Implants practices in the Dallas-Fort Worth area make new smiles affordable every day, so you don't need to wait another day to get your smile back. Visit one of their 16 Dallas-Fort Worth general dentistry locations. Call 1-800-DENTURE for the practice near you. Affordable Dentures and Implants. Go ahead and smile.
I-30 eastbound at Bass Pro Drive, the 2 left lanes are taken away for the wreck with a 25-minute backup to Rose Hill. Also, Woodall Rogers eastbound at I-45. That one cleared out, but it's still heavy back to I-35E. Roadwork up in Fort Worth on North Loop 820 westbound at Saginaw, Maine. The ramp partially blocked off there. On WBAP's First Traffic, I'm Monty Cook.
Brought to you by Men's Edge Medical. Men's Edge Medical is in the heart of Dallas at Elfin Preston and so easy to get to. Call Raul or one of the other fantastic staff members at Men's Edge today for a confidential, safe, and comfortable appointment. Call 972-996-0900.
News at the top and bottom of each hour. And when it breaks, 24/7.
News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
Welcome to the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. I was never in the Boy Scouts. The Boy Scouts seem kind of redundant to me because I grew up in the middle of a forest in the middle of nowhere, East Texas. And, hey, you want to go camping? What do you mean? Well, you want to go just like hang out in the woods and, I don't know, make a fire and play with knives and stuff like that. Dude, that's what I do every day. That's until school starts. This is my whole life. I wake up. I watch Gomer Pyle and Bewitched. Me and my sister play Monopoly for about 13 minutes until I get mad and I flip over the board. She chases me out of the house with a steak knife, locks all the doors, and I go play in the woods until Mom gets home. That was my entire life. Go be in the Scouts. What's now I got to wear a neckerchief? That's the only difference. So I was never a big fan of scouting. Not that I look down upon it. Scouting to the outside world looks like this is what city kids do to like actually realize, oh, there's trees. This is great. You mean you can just sleep outside? No, you can sleep inside sometimes too, Scout. Plus, like when they were first starting out, I remember trying to, people were recruiting me. Other kids in my class, Scott Muse, is like, hey, you need to join my Cub Scout troop. I'm like, well, I don't know. Why would I? Y'all got a name or something? They're like, yeah, we're called the Weeblos. I'm like, well, not in my tent. We're not. No, I don't think I will join your club, sir. I think I'll play maybe some football, maybe some soccer. We'll throw that in there. So I have no real personal investment at all in scouting, but it is disappointing to see that the Boy Scouts have announced that they're changing their name. Because it's just not inclusive enough. You know, not everything is supposed to be inclusive. There are supposed to be some organizations to where people can go of a specific demographic or heck, even ethnicity or lifestyle or whatever it is, religion, and you can find some people who are also interested in such things from similar backgrounds and y'all have like a shared experience. But no, we can't have it. And look, give the woke crowd a little bit of credit here for being consistent. They've been steadily going into women's spaces and ruining the experience by forcing guys into the swimming pool. They've been forcing guys into the weight room. They've been forcing guys into some of these other sporting events where you see a dude playing basketball or lacrosse or volleyball or handball or field hockey or whatever. Then they go into the showers and they go into your locker rooms. And so they've been doing this to women for a while, but now they're doing it to dudes. And I guess we're not allowed to have anything that's not super duper DEI compliant these days. But look, how much of this is wokeness infecting it? I don't know. I really don't. I have no inside info on the Boy Scouts. I don't know how much of this is because maybe they were just having some declining membership for other reasons. Maybe the Boy Scouts just naturally have a life cycle where they've peaked and they're on the decline and now they're just scrambling. Maybe they've run off some people who would have otherwise been interested through other policies that they've changed over the few years. Because are they a Christian organization? Or are they just an organization that happens to be Christian? Like, are they explicitly Christian, or they just sort of overlap? Well, you know, we're founded by a bunch of, like Chick-fil-A. That's not like the chicken sandwich of Jesus that just happened to be founded and the CEO is a Christian. Either way, though, there was sort of a moral component to scouting. You know, be prepared. That's about all I know about it. Don't they have like a code, like a 10 Commandments or something? Or Scouts Pledge, Scouts Honor? I honor to always wear short shorts to school with green socks or something. I don't know. I don't know what any of that stuff is. But the Boy Scouts have been under attack. I don't like saying it like that. I just don't have a better word, and I'm failing you right now. But they've been under attack by people trying to break it down and infiltrate it and change it. And any institution on a long enough time scale that isn't explicitly like anti-left has a tendency to creep that way. Just anything that's organizational and a hierarchy and a centralization of power and wealth and resources, it just tends to do that. I mean, everything from the Boy Scouts to the academia to the Catholic Church. So the one thing I think about when the Boy Scouts changed their name is I feel like this is the end of a battle that's been raging for about 10 years. The Boy Scouts have been under criticism in this new woke environment. And I think back to a popular, this was a viral video, I don't know, 6-7 years ago. Ben Shapiro's on a college campus and he's defending the right of the Boy Scouts to exclude girls. And why? Why does that make sense? The young lady asking the question just couldn't understand it. And I think Ben Shapiro had a great explanation for it. And you'll see why they had to change the name.
Okay, but you're still saying these kids should not be accepted because they don't really fit in either place. They can't just
I'm saying that the Boy Scouts have a standard. You must be a biological boy to be a Boy Scout. You have to be a boy to be a Boy Scout.
Where's that written though? Okay.
In the name Boy Scouts. Because this is a very because for all of human history, boy meant boy and girl meant girl.
So I guess we just can't have this anymore. We can't have girls' sports without it being infected by guys forcing their way in there under some, I don't know, woke veil. And now we have the reverse happening to where boys can't have their own spaces either. And I guess they don't like anything to have any kind of gender discrepancy these days. I mean, any expression of it just has to be torn down. And this isn't a good thing. It's good that boys have their own space that's free from non-boys and the other expressions of gender all across the spectrum. Is that a bad thing? Because if it is a bad thing, then is the NAACP a bad thing? Are all these women's group a bad thing? Is Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, is that a bad thing? Because it excludes... Oh, yeah, you cheering for that one? I know. Hey, I'm just waiting for my month. When's my month? What was it last month? No, September is like Hispanic Heritage Month, so that's not me. And then we have Black History Month. No, then we have Women's Month. No, then we have Pride Month. That could be white guys, but I like women, so one of these days I'll get a month. One of these days we can actually, I don't know, celebrate me for 5 seconds. No. That goes by a different set of rules. But the Boy Scouts changing their name, or are they changing it to Scouting America? Maybe this is another great American institution that has been decimated by woke, and everything that woke touches turns to you know what. Or maybe it was just a declining thing and people aren't interested in going out and making fires out of fire sticks anymore. Do you have a little magnesium rod that you scrape off little fire bits into some kindling to start it off? I don't know, but you and I both know there's the larger context of all of this stuff being challenged, of all of these cultural and social norms. You know that there's some people out there that just live to light a match and watch the world burn. They want to tear it all down. They're not replacing it with anything better. In fact, we don't even have the answer to some of the questions. I already know you're thinking of a few questions. Can I go ahead and jump into your ear hole and run around in your brain and come out with your next question? Makes sense to me, too. What happens with the Girl Scouts? I don't know. I don't know. What's the point of having Girl Scouts if girls can join the Boy Scouts? Or boys can boys join the Girl Scouts yet? Or is that a thing? Or do they have to be trans to join? I don't know. I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm going to find out these rules last. Actually, you're going to find them out last. I'll find them out second to last, and then I'll tell them to you. Because you know what you were doing while they were figuring this all out? You had a job. That's what you had. You actually had real issues to deal with. So I'm at a loss. I'm at a total loss. They're just going to break everything down until they're stopped. And I'm not going to go and defend the Boy Scouts to the end and say, oh, I'm going to die on this hill. I was never part of the Boy Scouts. I think America will be just fine if scouting went away, period, or if this new Scouting America took its place. It's whatever. But you see how it goes where everything is being broken down. You're not allowed to have your own special place. Or actually, I'm not allowed to have my own special place. We can have the Black Student Union over here. We can have this safe space for this crowd over here. Or we can have trans something over here. We can have gay stuff over here. Never for me, though. How long is that going to perpetuate until someone in that crowd gets suspicious? Like, hey, what? I have a friend named James Parker. I mean, he never gets a month. No, he doesn't. I don't want a month. I'm just pointing it out. Like, that's the obvious discrepancy. They're not really all about inclusion. They're not really all about diversity, are they? So rest in peace, Boy Scouts. It was good while we had you. Would you make it like 120 years or so? And then you died on the altar of political correctness. Rest in peace. This is the James Show. What do you think about the death of the Boy Scouts? 800-288-9227. 800-288-WBAP. It's the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Are you ready to accelerate your success? Don't miss the Accelerate Conference at Gateway Church on May 17th. Discover how God's Way can transform your business and personal life with guest speakers like leadership guru John Maxwell, Dr. Phil, Pastor Robert Morris. This event promises invaluable insights. Enjoy book signings, breakout sessions, and an expert panel to answer all your questions. Use promo code WBAP and save 20% on your registration fee. Don't wait any longer. Secure your spot now at GBLAccelerate.com. That's GBLAccelerate.com.
At Airco Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing, they're proud to have thousands of 5-star ratings from DFW homeowners. When you need help with your AC, heat, plumbing, or drains, Airco is always here for you. Don't let the hot summer months sneak up on you. Right now, book a $59 AC tune-up with Airco. They'll donate 4 pounds of dog food to the Humane Society of North Texas. Stay cool this summer and give to a great cause before the dog days of summer arrive. Schedule your tune-up today at airco.com or call 877-ITS-AIRCO.
Airco, we bring comfort home.
Did you know you can lose up to 25% efficiency by having leaky windows in your home? It's really true. Hi, it's Ernie. This is a great time to replace those leaky and inefficient windows or replace that old shower or tub you've been putting off. Why? Well, because this month, Statewide is looking for 30 homeowners to receive free installation on a house full of windows or on a new bath and shower with no interest and no payments until 2026. Now, if that's not enough, you can receive up to a $1,200 tax credit by putting their energy-efficient windows in your home. Plus, the pros at Statewide are recognized as a top bathroom remodeler. From beautiful wall surround options to sleek shower enclosures and walk-in tubs, they have you covered. It's why they're recognized as one of the top bathroom remodelers. So, no interest and no payments until 2026, free installation. All you have to do is call now, 214-214-6000. That's 214-214-6000, or go online to statewideremodeling.com.
If you have cancer, you have a powerful choice. An advanced cancer treatment available right here in North Texas at Texas Center for Proton Therapy. Proton therapy precisely targets your cancer, sparing healthy tissue for fewer side effects. No doctor's referral is needed, so visit TexasProtons.com to find out if you're a candidate. Powerful cancer treatment, a powerful choice. The power of proton therapy at Texas Center for Proton Therapy.
Guys, did you know your testosterone levels start to decline in your 30s? If you're feeling a lack of energy and drive, it could be caused by low T. Get your levels tested at Centergenics. They make it quick and easy, and with the convenience of their on-site lab, you'll get your results back at your first visit. At Centergenics, you get customized care from testosterone specialists. Go to FixMyLowT.com to book online. That's FixMyLowT.com. Locations in Prosper, McKinney, and Walnut Hill near North Park Mall.
Mortgage rates are lower going into the spring selling season. Chris Waters has the plan and experience to sell your home fast for maximum cash. Are you worried about getting one of those lowball instant offers? Chris Waters is the real estate expert I trust and recommend with the sale of my home. Waters Realty guarantees an offer for full market value up front on qualified homes. With Chris Waters, there are no required costly repairs. You can pick your move date. There are no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. Megan and James were empty nesters ready to cash in on their equity and have some fun. Their prior real estate agent failed to deliver a decent offer in more than 60 days. They changed to Waters Realty. The marketing blitz was launched and got the offer they wanted in less than a week. Call the agent who guarantees an offer for full market value upfront on qualified homes. Call the team I recommend, Chris Waters and Waters International Realty, to see if your home qualifies at 214-689-6646 or go to ChristopherWaters.com. That's Christopher Waters with 2 T's.com.
DFW's News, Talk, Traffic, and Weather Station. News Talk 820 WBAP. And now on FM at 93.3.
Streaming live on our free mobile app.
A Cumulus Media Station. Trending now.
ERCOT issues a weather watch. I'm Eric Bushman from the Novak Motors News Desk.
ClassicChevrolet.com. WBAP's first traffic and weather.
On the ones.
I-30 eastbound still heavy from Rose Hill to Bass Pro Drive from an earlier wreck, now gone. Also, Woodall Rogers eastbound at I-45. That one's off to the shoulder. It's trying to loosen up there from I-35E. Loop 12 southbound at I-30. The wreck itself is cleared up, but it's still slow back to 183. And 121 southbound at 183. That crash now off to the side, but it's a little heavy back to Mid-Cities Boulevard. From WBAP's First Traffic on the Ones, I'm Monty Cook.
Why do so many Texans love Classic Chevrolet and Grapevine? We're the #1 Chevy dealership in the world. New Silverados, more than anyone. Malibus, Blazers, Equinox. Gotta visit ClassicChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. Based on new Chevrolet registrations 2023.
The WBAP forecast: increasing clouds tonight with a low 72 degrees. It is 92 in Dallas and in Fort Worth. This news brought to you by Mueller, Inc. The Electric Reliability of Texas Council of Texas has issued a weather watch for tomorrow. Ever since the February 2021 winter storm forced the Texas power grid operator to cut service to millions, ERCOT has made several attempts to be more transparent as it tries to regain the trust of state leadership and residents. Because of that, ERCOT says grid conditions could be tight due to unseasonably high temperatures and potential for lower reserves. They also report high levels of maintenance outages. As of now, they expect grid conditions to be normal and are not asking for conservation. Your money news: inflation is slowing. However, the effects on North Texans households remains dire.
That may seem like a good thing. However, because inflation follows a compounding interest principle, last year's nearly 9% inflation added to this month's 3.5% makes an overall price increase for Texans of 12%. According to UNT financial expert Mark Evers, high interest rates aren't always a bad thing.
I'm seeing banks that have CDs that are as high as 5.5%. So savers are getting rewarded again on the positive side. On the negative side, it is making things more expensive.
Evers notes the cost of borrowing money has made purchasing a car or home more costly as well. Mike Trina, WBAP News.
The Dow closed up 32 points, NASDAQ down 17, the S&P 500 up by 7. Again, the low tonight around 72. It is 92 degrees in both Dallas and Fort Worth. I'm Eric Bushman. Your next news update is at 5 o'clock. Check back several times throughout your day and keep connected, DFW, to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
The answer is hoops, hockey, and the boys of summer. The question: who will you be following in the wide world of sports today? Stars, the Mavericks, the Rangers? From our Mullen & Mullen Law Firm Sports Desk, I'm Steve Lamb. Rangers and the A's on the field right now out in Oakland. It's the second of 4 games they're playing in this series, where Texas came back to win last night, where less than 3,000 fans were in the stands to see it. That won't be the case at the American Airlines Center in a few more hours, where they'll have a packed house for the Stars' second-round NHL playoff series after surviving round 1 in 7 games against Vegas, the defending Stanley Cup champions. Now they're facing a Colorado team that won the Cup 2 years ago. Puck drops at 8:30, televised on ESPN, on radio, on our sports station, The Ticket. And at the same time, up in Oklahoma City, the Thunder, top team in the Western Conference, hosting the Mavericks. This is going to be an interesting series to watch. Mavs trying to get back to the West Finals, but I'm not sure I feel as confident as I did in their series against the LA Clippers. That's your Tuesday afternoon sports update. I'm Steve Lamb.
Your money news at the top and bottom of each hour, weekdays. Keep connected, DFW. News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
Hey, welcome to the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Here, let me pick your brain for this one. I know a bunch of amateur freelance comedians are listening to the James Show right now because you guys listen to WBAP all week, and you leave the funniest stuff on Twitter and Facebook and social media on these comments. So if the Boy Scouts have capitulated, if they have genuflected to the woke mob, and they are now pretending not to see gender, like gender is just a social construct and it's another one of these things, and the Olympus has fallen. Think about this effect. I want you to come up with, because I know you're going to think of some that I didn't. They probably are going to need some new merit badges. Didn't you think about this, Sean? You probably thought about this, some new merit badges. Call in if you can think of some new merit badges, because just off the top of my head, I was thinking they're going to need probably a eyeliner application merit badge. Right? They don't have that now, but it'll come in handy for Boy Scouts that are now just scouting America. They could have the junk tucking merit badge. That's probably they don't have that one already. Did they do that? Were you in Scouts? Did they have that when you were a kid? You didn't have to like get some painter's tape or whatever they use down there. Maybe a wig brushing merit badge, drag queen story hour merit badge. But really when you get all the way up to the Eagle Scout level, I think that's when you get either the chemical castration merit badge or maybe the genital mutilation merit badge. I don't know. We kind of need to workshop this a little bit, but you get where I'm going. So if you have any other new merit badges that are probably going to be in this new scouting institution, 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Kim and Gordon, you're on the James Show. What do you think?
Well, so I think at one time the Girl Scouts were being associated with sending money to Planned Parenthood. So a lot of churches kicked them out. They didn't want that. And so the Boy Scouts have not been found to do that. I get what you're saying because the way of the world now, the transgender stuff. But I think they became the Scouts so the girls who wanted to be in a club could still be in one without being a part of that Planned Parenthood bit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I get why you think it might be because they could just let boys and girls, you know. I get what you're saying. But I think it has more to do with they just wanted to be all-inclusive with the girls who no longer wanted to be Girl Scouts because of the Planned Parenthood thing.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, though, because now you're not doing Girl Scouts. You're doing Girl and Boy Scouts. And so you're not trading off the Girl Scouts for something else. You're getting rid of both Girl and Boy Scouts. Now you just have Scouts, and that's different. It's different when you have a co-ed volleyball tournament. That's going to be different than if you have the women and men separated out. When you have a co-ed experience like at a work site, it's different if it's all men or it's all women. If you have a Bible study that's all men or all women, it's different than if it's co-ed. It's different. It's not. It can't be the same. It can't be a replacement. It can only be the destruction of what was previously a cultural norm, all to be replaced with this idea that gender is just a social construct and merely an expression and merely an experience.
I get you. Yeah, I think it could go that way now just because of how the world is, you know, but I think originally it started to do that. I mean, I know it should be girls and boys, but I think they just kind of went that way because they wanted to keep the girls who wanted to be a part of that, but not the Planned Parenthood bit of it, you know.
Well, do you have kids in scouting, or do you have any sort of background with it?
Well, I used to. I had a son who was Boy Scout. This was years ago when everything was good in the world, but...
I like that when everything was good in the world. I don't know. Did we have Uber back then? Because I don't know if I could go back. Thank you very much.
It was a very long time ago.
Thank you, Kim. You get 5 points for such a good call. Let's go to Tyler in Salado. You're on the James Show. What do you think about this?
Hey, so I'm a Eagle Scout, been involved with the organization for a long time. I've watched it slowly just implode to where I had to walk away. And unfortunately, the last caller is a bit ignorant. So the Girl Scouts originally, like, they went full STEM decades ago to try to get open doors for girls in the STEM industries. And they walked away from, you know, like, just trinketing and camping and all that other kind of outdoor boysy type of stuff. The Boy Scouts, where they started going wrong was about 2 decades ago. And just to be blunt with you, the 12th point of the law is a scout is reverent. And with the whole gays and scouts part of thing, they really walked away from God. And so now they've got lesbians leading these like second and third graders in their dens, and they're perfectly fine with it, even though the church's charters tell them they're not allowed to. And the best thing I can equate the entire implosion of the Boy Scouts to is a fatherless home. There's no structure. There's no recruitment. Young boys don't want to be in it. And when I was at this training that they had for us, it's called Wood Badge. It's like the culmination of working your way to be like a senior leader in the scouting at the local level. They flat out said that the introduction of the girls was to close a budget deficit that they had because they were bleeding boys in the organization like crazy, and they were running a budget deficit. So they were like, hey, let's just open it up to all these girls. And so it hasn't really been external forces. It's all been slowly allowing women into leadership roles, demasculating the entire organization 20, 30 years ago that it started sliding down.
Well, if we put you in charge of the whole thing, Tyler, what would you change?
It would be a 100% men from top to bottom with boys organization. So the founder, Baton Powell, he would be rolling in his grave right now. It was purely designed to just get boys out into the wilderness, get them engaged and get them rugged. And it actually was a stepping tool that they used under the British Empire to get these boys ready to join in as a conscript at 18 to go out into the British Empire before it came to the United States. So if I was in charge, 100% top down, gut everything, start back over, men at the top, men at the bottom, bring back God, and making an organization where boys can grow into young, strong men. Because, man, 20, 30 years ago when I was in the organization, I lived it. I was in it all the time. A couple of years ago, got my son back involved into it. After 2 years, we just threw in the towel and said, we're done.
Oh, that's so sad to hear. You were trying to have like a generational father-son moment, and it's been ruined.
I thought he was going to get Eagle Scout and all that. Nah, he came to me one day and he was just like, I'm not really liking this, Dad. And I was like, hey, neither am I.
Don't blame you, son. Hey, and I'm so glad you know some of that background lore, because I don't know who the founder of the Boy Scouts are, or that they were connected to the British Empire. I just remember reading like maybe 2 decades ago that on the scale of being called up, like the Boy Scouts are on there. Like they have the active military, then they have the reservists, and then they would have the draft, and then they would bring in the older veterans. And somewhere down the line, like the Boy Scouts are like they could be called into war, which I always thought was hilarious. Like if you're the Taliban in Afghanistan, you see a bunch of 11-year-olds coming over the hill in shorts and a neckerchief. You won. Just pop your champagne bottles or sacrifice the fattest goat. Your war's over. You did it. Well, great call. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Hey, first-time caller. Love the show. Thank you for everything you do.
Well, you really added to the show today. I appreciate that. This is the James Show. Coming up next, AOC says roads were laid out in New York City specifically to oppress minorities. And you think I'm making it up? I'll play you her saying it. Coming up next, it's the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
It's a big case for the prosecution.
Trump faces 34 felony counts of falsifying business records.
You're on a legal expense. I got indicted for that.
Those crimes included violating federal and New York state election law.
Giving the money to hush up Stormy Daniels.
This is done as election interference. Everybody knows it. What's going on right here should never be happening.
Keep connected, DFW.
News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
Hey, homeowners, I'm talking to you. The second most valuable thing on your property besides your home, your trees. Yeah, your trees. That's why you didn't cut them all down. They're nice to have. They're shady. They're pretty. They add a sense of privacy. They make you feel natural, like you're not living in a concrete jungle. James Parker here. The downside to all those trees next to your house is it keeps clogging your gutters. And you got to keep getting up there, and you got to keep cleaning them out. And it causes all kinds of problems because once it gets clogged, then water builds up, and it can cause your soffit vents to rot. It can cause your gutters to leak or even break. All kinds of problems. Foundation issues, painting issues, leaky issues, water seepage. Forget it. You don't have to deal with it anymore if you do the one trick that I've been telling you to do. Leaf filter. Go to leaffilter.com/WBAP. They'll have a guy. You may have gotten up on that ladder for the last time. You may have put your hands in that slop for the last time, because when you call them, they'll go out there, they'll go measure them. And before they put on leaf filter, they will clean them one last time for you. And then after they level your gutters, seal everything, they install it professionally. If anything goes wrong, you can call them back. But here's one thing you know. You don't have to worry about the gutter situation anymore. Lifetime guarantee on it. So get it. Fix it. Don't have to worry about it again. If something does go wrong, just call them back. So you get started by taking the action of going to leaffilter.com leaffilter.com/WBAP. They're not going to come to you. I'm not going to knock on your door and remind you. You have to do it yourself. leaffilter.com/WBAP. Why you go to /WBAP? Because that's where the discount is. leafilter.com/WBAP.
This report is sponsored by try the new limited edition Orange Dreamsicle Frosty at Wendy's. Try the new Orange Dreamsicle Frosty at Wendy's. It's like walking down recent memory lane. To have Orange Dreamsicle Frosty in our timeline is truly something special, and we shouldn't let the moment pass us by. And be quick, it's only available for a limited time.
Here at Massey, we know a thing or two about bugs. We've been keeping pests out of homes for almost 100 years. Our customized pest prevention program keeps bugs outside, in their home, not yours. Because when we prevent pests from getting in, we protect health, home, and family. Make your home a Massey home. Schedule your free inspection today at MasseyServices.com. Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
What's the biggest mistake you can make when selling your home? Settling for less money. Not with Orchard. Orchard helps you get top dollar for your home. And Orchard gives you an impressive guaranteed cash offer. With a solid cash offer in your back pocket, you can hold out for the price you deserve. Imagine knowing your home is guaranteed to sell. Get the most money for your home with Orchard. Get your free guaranteed cash offer at Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
Hey, North Texas, we're booming. I mean, literally booming. Hi, Brad Barton for Clarity Windows and Doors. Those once quiet spots are now bustling with new folks, construction equipment, delivery trucks, school buses. All sounds of progress, but when you're ready for peace and quiet, it's just street noise. That's when you call Clarity Windows and Doors. I can tell you their newest sound-reducing multi-pane windows let in the light while blocking outside noise, and it makes a huge difference in your home. With over 20 years in North Texas, earning their 5-star rating, Clarity offers premium products and 5-star service from their award-winning installation crews. You're going to get invaluable advice and honest guidance to the windows and doors that are best for your home and budget. Restored peace and quiet can be yours, along with excellent financing options. Plus, right now, save 40% on every other window. Just give them a call at 1-888-458-3630 or click them online at ClarityWindows.com. Timeless beauty and savings are yours with Clarity Windows and Doors.
Bring clarity to your home. Clarity Windows and Doors.
Brought to you by Sewell Cadillac of Dallas and Sewell Cadillac of Grapevine.
The only thing better than a Cadillac is a Sewell Cadillac. Discover the Cadillac of your dreams and experience our unparalleled customer service today at Sewell Cadillac of Dallas or Sewell Cadillac of Grapevine.
New problem spot in Arlington, I-30 westbound at Fielder. That one in the right lane. Heavy there back to Collins. Also got one north Loop A20 westbound at Saginaw Main, blocking the ramp. 920 westbound around 1187 Farmer Road. Construction up, blocking the right lane. From WBAP's First Traffic, I'm Monty Cook.
Brought to you by the law offices of Thomas J. Henry.
According to NHTSA, a new car crash is reported every 56 seconds in Texas. Thomas J. Henry handles serious auto accident cases and gets serious results for injured clients. To learn more or start your claim today, visit tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
From the Airco AC Heating and Plumbing Studio, this is News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3.
Oh man, the internet is brutal. Brutal. There is a student, I don't look, she's at Princeton, and she just put a video on her social media feed about how she's going to go on a hunger strike for Hamas until they divest from Israel. And she's getting tore up because she looks like, I'm not saying this to be mean. It is what it is. She's probably maybe 300 pounds. And so imagine if you're this, because she's a young lady. I mean, she's going to read this. You people, like, you feel anonymous when you're talking on social media, but you realize, like, all the hateful things you say about me, I read it. I'm a human being. I mean, it doesn't hurt my feelings. I'm not going to go cry myself to sleep, but you're not just being a jerk into the wind. We see you. And so, like, while I disagree with her politically, people are really harsh about this. Like, there's no way you would say some of these things to a person to their face. Even, like, if this woman was standing in the room with you, there's no way these people would say that to her. Don't do that. Don't say things to people online that you wouldn't say to their face. I thought we all agreed, like, you're not supposed to tear people up over fat jokes or whatever. Just, I don't know, it's terrible. I mean, on the other hand, it's kind of hard to feel bad when you get called a Nazi, sexist, bigot, homophobe. I got called all of those because I didn't want to pass Obamacare. Like, I never saw how that was relevant. But we get all kinds of false accusations. Sometimes they're true accusations and they're just mean. Sometimes, like, I don't even know where it comes from. AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she had a clip that was being passed around where she was trying to make the case that the way streets are laid out is intentionally racist. And I want you to hear this. I had to hear it. I had to bang my head on the table for a little bit. Now you have to.
There is a psychic weight to living in communities that are designed to be disconnected. It affects your social life. My neighborhood that I'm from in the Bronx and Parkchester, we have some of the longest commutes in all of New York City. It is a commute not just to work, it is a commute to do anything. It is a commute to connect socially. It is a commute to connect spiritually. These decisions are designed to disconnect, disempower, and isolate people. And when you layer that with a lot of Robert Moses's racist intent, to very much do so to a very specific kind of people, Black, brown, low income, poor, etc. You can really see how it actually builds in organizing challenges to communities who actually want to empower themselves.
But they can see racism in everything except for, unless it's against white people. Like, you can see racism in the way the streets are laid out in Brooklyn, but you can't see like all these protesters saying horrible things about white people. No condemnation there. No concern there. But I think this is almost, you have to be a white supremacist to have this sort of mentality. Do you understand like the inherent racism it takes for white people to have all the superpowers that AOC and so many people falsely give us credit for? You think white people are laying out streets in the New York area and they're like, hey, Rusty, should we draw it from point A to point B? And they're like, I don't know, man, that might help the blacks too much. We better make it curvy. Why you want to make it curvy? We've got to separate them out. Wait, what was her wording there?
There is a psychic weight to living in communities that are designed to be disconnected.
Yeah, we got to keep them disconnected. Come on, man. If white people are going to reign supreme, we've got to disconnect communities. We got to make their commutes longer. This is ridiculous. You know, in the country, white people are the majority, and we have far longer commutes than anybody in Brooklyn. Don't be silly. Oh, are we disconnected? Is that racism disconnected? Look, because remember, I grew up in Bucktussle. I grew up in a 30-acre hay pasture in the middle of nowhere. It was a 40-minute round trip to the nearest gallon of milk. Were we purposefully disconnected from our communities so we couldn't rise up and be empowered? AOC, white people do not have that much control over the lives of non-white people, nor do we want it, and here's the real truth, nor do we care. We don't care. When we're designing streets, our civil engineers are not being cranked out through engineering school at A&M so they can come out knowing how to best disconnect people of color with the street layout. No one gives a rip. Is there a hill there? Is this the fastest way from point A to point B? Is there some water drainage issues? That might be the totality of it. I think the big message here is no. We didn't lay out streets to empower or disempower or discriminate. We just laid out streets. We didn't think about race. No one did. You're the first person to associate race with a street layout. All right, that's going to do it for the James Show. Stay put. Coming up next, Mark Levin, then Chris Crock, and we'll do this whole thing tomorrow. In the meantime, tell someone about the James Show. Go check out the podcast on the WBAP app and WBAP.com, and be nice to each other. This has been the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
The Wilhite Law Firm handles accident cases differently. If you're injured, we'll drive to your home. We'll return every call and keep you updated. We win big for our clients. Texas-sized settlements big. Get your free case review at WilhiteWins.com.
Prior results do not guarantee similar outcome.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler.
My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA.